This is a production of Darn TV.
Quiet. There we go. Man, oh man,
I did what they call jumping the start.
Yeah, but nobody could hear you jump the start.
Okay.
You talked, but nobody could hear
good.
you.
Well, then it didn't happen.
Yeah. The Dirt Weekly.
Yeah.
Live.
The
Live
right night.
At, Wednesday night. Out of practice, out of sorts, whatever you want to call me tonight or call us tonight. Show prep was
day job got the best of us. That happens.
Brandon lived through the tour just long enough to tell about it.
Yep.
Long enough to go to work and come home.
I don't know what happened while I was away from work, but it seems to be about 10 times busier now that I'm back. It's like I took a week off. And I worked the whole week that I was off as well. I did a conference call in the booth in Williston. I had a 2-hour conference call while I was setting up Darn TV in the booth.
2-hour conference call.
Wow.
All about and if you think conference calls are boring, wait till you get on one when we talk about ticketing and invoicing and how to invoice certain jobs and how to do this, and it's so monotonous.
And all you're thinking about is left turn.
All I'm thinking about is
race lineup.
Who won last night, and how are we going to talk? How are Ben and I going to talk about it on the air?
Yeah. Well, again, there's no getting rid of the day job for obvious reasons.
Oh, the high side Haas checked in.
Hascar's in already?
It's Trevor and not Morgan, he said.
Yeah. Well, that was to me. So, yeah, I'll save that for the folly of the weekend. So.
I don't know him as high side Haas. I was watching him dig down low in Estevan.
Yeah, he was a new guy.
The high side Haas was the ditch digger. That's what I said on the call. Digger.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that Trevor tuned in because I just asked these two fine fellas. I said, has Trevor arrived? Because I'm telling you, you were front row Charlie.
When you're TRD, you're always arriving and you're never actually there.
Trevor, you ask for it, you get it. So, right.
Actually, I think the saying that Ben Deathridge came up with on the way home, or maybe the next day at breakfast, I'm not sure when it came up. Trevor might be able to correct me. But Trevor passed everything twice, but the tech. He passed everybody on the track twice except for Tech.
I was going to leave that alone, but boom, you brought that right out.
Yeah, I thought that was going to come up later because the deal was.
Was it Ben that came up with that at breakfast?
Well, I think Trevor came up with it. We just didn't let it go. So I think Ben said we got to make that into a shirt or something along those lines.
I can pass everything but Tech.
Passed everything but Tech twice. It was funny then, and it still is. So,
welcome everybody. I'm Brandon Beater, Jorn Boyce, Craig Heupel.
Hello.
We're still missing the Smallsinator.
Yeah, he said maybe, and that means maybe not. So,
yeah,
we give him an extra half hour of production time here.
Apologize for the late start. We wanted to start at 7. I didn't even arrive here until 7.
Yeah.
You guys were waiting for me in the driveway.
I had to look at my notes. I thought we were meeting somewhere else, and I don't know how we could have, but, I was nervous.
Then you guys you get down here, and I had all this stuff that you see right here was on the Tougher Than Dirt tour with me.
Yeah. It wasn't on the Dirt Weekly last time.
It was not on the
busy
table.
Since.
So I had to set everything up. I mean, I placed it here the other day when I dropped off the equipment. I placed it here, but I had to set it all up real quick and
plug it in.
Sebo Motorsports rundown, specializing in high-performance parts, chassis repair. Call Ryan at 701-720-3889. today. I know it's pretty cool. Jesse Long did a big Facebook pump up. Had his car over there before the Tougher Than Dirt Tour, getting it ready to go at Seabo's. And
Yeah. And Jesse had a great heat race there too. So yeah.
Brody Beater went to the Seabo repair shop as well after last Sunday.
Yeah.
Last Sunday.
Right. A lot went on since last Sunday, including last Sunday.
Alex Twite had a visit there.
Yep.
And since he went to Ryan's shop, we're showing some speed. So
getting in the thick of
Seabo's
things.
Speed Shop.
Ryan's got it going on.
Yeah.
So appreciate him being available because
also the Hard Charger sponsor on the Tougher Than Dirt Tour for the hobby stocks. Some pretty cool coolers that we were giving away.
Neat stuff.
What all do we have to talk about? I got weekend recap. I mean, weekend should be like week and a half recap.
Yeah, it's many
driver
days.
chat. I don't have any drivers lined up, so if anybody in the chat room would like to talk to a driver, I believe I got Levi Runge's phone number. Maybe a Levi Runge.
Yeah.
You're champion.
Yeah.
There's no. It'll be a 100% cold call.
Yeah. No notes. Well, those are fun too.
Maybe
so.
I'll shoot him a message here.
See if he's at work or not. You never know.
Yeah, Levi.
But like you say, a lot of racing. And before we get into Tougher Than Dirt, because that's going to be the premiere, but Craig, you were talking about like last Sunday's races at Nodak. That was, of course, the last regular weekly show before we had Monday off and heading into Tuesday with the Tougher Than Dirt. So,
and if you could call it like the prelude to the Super Nationals, we had a little bit of a preview of what was to come on the Tougher Than Dirt Tour. Caden Appeld.
We had
Olmsted.
Morgan in town. And
you can watch racing the rest of your life. That race was elite.
Yeah, it was. It was. I mean, it was a battle of the gladiators for sure, and it delivered. I was excited to see the return, of course, a week later after some shaking and some driving and some shaking downs and stuff like that. Of course, Mother Nature foiled that deal, but yeah, I'm with you, man. It amped up the Tougher Than Dirt. I mean, you just knew things were going to get exciting, and they did. So, but yeah, on that Sunday night, again, we're getting close to the championship night at Nodak.
I think we got to go back just a little bit further. We're getting excited.
Okay.
We had an opening night of the McLean County Speedway in there to kick that weekend off.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That started Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Let's.
Fair enough.
'Cause, I mean, we haven't got to talk since then, so we're going to go all the way back in the Wayback Machine.
Man, I was just talking about having all this hard drive, remembering all this.
Yeah.
So
don't judge us on a mistake.
Thursday, May 29th. That's how far back we're going. We are
2 weeks
Wednesday,
deep,
June 11th.
Okay. Yeah.
McLean County Speedway opener had to be pushed a week because of weather.
Yeah,
the
we had
previous week.
rain, cold. Yep. Yeah. Winter was still
beautiful evening.
Sure, it was worth the wait.
Worth the wait. Gorgeous evening.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cars in the pit area. B Main and the Legends. Non-wing sprint cars getting their start.
I don't remember right off. I want to say, am I remembering like 84 or something like that? It was a phenomenal opening night.
We'll start with the non-wing. Miles Tomlinson with the home track win. Got out front.
Again, fun cars to watch, and they to this day they still keep the price in check. That's always exciting. It's amazing how fast they are going on the amount of money they're spending. I mean, they're, I think, close to 2 seconds faster than anything else on the track. So
yep,
that's impressive. So
here's what we were talking about in the stands. Chuck Scott and I, we were thinking, because Miles looked pretty quick.
He did.
And we were thinking the Tomlinson sweep. That's what we were thinking.
Yeah.
Because Marcus in his heat showed speed, and I'm telling you, even though he didn't get the win, I think he was the fastest car on the track.
Yeah.
In the stock cars.
In the stock cars, yeah. And let's not leave Mike out of it, because Mike was right up behind Miles there for a while, Dad. So car ended up looking pretty tight before the night was over, but nonetheless, showing some speed also. So I'm with you on that. Things were looking good for the Tomlinson camp for sure. And it was. So
hobby stocks were up next. Aiden Paul picks up the win. A little bit of controversy in that one. I mean, we don't want to bring up the drama, but Kyler Satrin in the lead, gets into a lap car, spins out, gets put to the back by the the race director.
Yeah, great point of topic. I mean, we've been pressed into these situations and make the call. We've determined that the leaders have to be able to maneuver all traffic. It's frustrating when it might change that, but it does every once in a while at the very least.
Aiden Paul's new to me.
From Dickinson.
I didn't know what to expect out of him. He ran a beautiful race. That car looked pristine. That thing looked like it just rolled out of the...
Come from a body shop background, and it is very
And
pretty.
congratulations on his win, but that 47 was right there too. So I was like,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Maximum was on it.
Quite an interesting post, I think, that was put out by Mike Tomlinson, talking about track records
the
and
number of
such.
track records that were broke.
And
yeah.
Max, like during that race, it was broke like 3 times. Like Max broke it, and then Kyler broke it, and then somebody else broke it. Like all in the matter of them.
It was great history.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Yeah. What a testament. The track was just incredible. I mean, it was incredible. Shout out to the track crew. That's the kind of stuff we want at McLean County. We're not into the Dust Bowl games. Those come by accident if you get them at McLean. So, and again, they'd been reshaping and doing some stuff this spring. They wanted to try to make the corners more competitive. I thought things moved around well. I know Sean started behind me in a stock car, which was deep in the field, and went on to get a second. So, passing was happening. That's what we want. That's what we had. Back to you on that Aiden Paul win. Good on Aiden. Again, somewhat new to the sport, at least new to Victory Circle-ish. I think his first one was last year.
Yeah.
Good kid.
Works hard at what he does.
Interested in racing. Yeah.
Now has a little brother that's racing.
Yeah.
Levi Paul.
His dad and grandpa raced, and it's a racing family. We sure appreciate him making the long haul to Underwood from Dickinson.
I had a cheeseburger, the nachos, and a beer, and I couldn't have been happier. It was so
Back at the races. What a feeling. I went one step farther, sort of. I got 2 cheeseburgers. I realized I couldn't eat it. It was too much. Olaf got half. So not only are they good, but I forgot they are sizable. So
my good
one
friend
will get her done.
Chuck Scott saved me a seat. And in my mind, I'm thinking of some of the things that we've talked about having the Dakota Classic Modified Tour there. That night, opening night, and the Tougher Than Dirt Tour, I'm looking at that grandstand. If Chuck's not saving me a seat, you ain't getting a seat. So...
Yeah, well, we are talking about growing pains again.
You have growing pains.
Yes, and there's some things in the makings. I mean, it's being addressed. What a great problem to have. I hope we can keep the product as exciting as it is, but yeah, no, we're going to make some provisions for that. It sounds like again, so much energy in and around the community of Underwood. It's just a great product to be a part of. It really is. Brandon, you're there. You're every facet of us too, and it's just fun to see what that thing just takes off with. I mean, the energy is real there. So,
and we get 2 nights this weekend.
Yeah, heck yeah, with a little twist in there for the modified stock car deals, and we'll get there on the upcoming. But yeah, I'm with you. Hobby's a great race. Stock cars. Wow. I mean, it was. Oh man, it was like a new version of Mario Karts. I mean, you could race everywhere, somewhat on the walls, if you will, and there was a lot of action going on.
Yeah, with the stock cars, Reese Dignan.
Yes,
I think picking up his first stock car win.
Stock car win. Yes, good on Reese. I know he'd had some engine setbacks there for a while, some frustration there. I think Paul
making the long trip from Kenmare down there
on a Thursday. Well appreciated by us for sure. And what a great night for him. Again, just had some engine struggles. He couldn't shake off. He just had lost his grandpa there the week before. So good on him to have that win and that celebration that came with it. So good.
Compact Zach Eubanks is on a winning roll.
Yeah, domination. Yeah,
he kind of has things figured out in that compact class.
Lily beat him in the heat race that night.
Lily get her done? Yeah. That could be. Well,
it happened.
Yeah, so,
we have our first guest. Levi Runge will be at the bottom of next hour. So this is like a radio show.
Yeah.
Coming up, stay tuned. At the bottom of next hour, Levi Runge, 2025 Tougher Than Dirt Tour champion, will be on the phone.
But back to that stock car race, and if I keep doing this,
Keep going. We got time.
Sean Strand, 13 spots up. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
so that's another thing with Underwood, right? You get a program like Sean Strand's coming there and parking it on your track. I mean, that's cool. And it looked like he was struggling in his heat race where the car was hopping on him or, doing that pitch thing. And then he adjusted and it was lightning quick.
Yeah, kudos to Sean for making the adjustment because I've been to Mandan and of course I'm in Underwood, but they are not the same surface. So there's a fair amount of adjustment to be made there, and Sean made the adjustment. Like you say, come from deep in the field. I think I was 7th row. He's probably 8th row then. So and to get up there and get a runner-up spot and in one piece was a testament to that night. It was busy.
And Sierra Davenport, a young lady running with you Renegades.
Leading restart after restart. I know, looking like she been there forever. And you're right. She's
not intimidating.
Roughly a dozen nights into her career, maybe a little bit more now, 15 nights maybe. And yeah, she was pretty excited. Of course, we're excited for her. That's Adam Goff's older car. So yeah, so there's a little history there, and Adam's helping her out, getting her going and stuff like that. So cool stuff. Her and her dad, AJ, are enjoying the sport together, and been some fun nights.
Sorry, show prep going on.
No
You guys keep going.
When you say bottom of the hour, does that mean like 8:30?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bottom of the next
thought so.
hour.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
We're
Just
bringing
making
out
sure
our inner radio-ness.
in case there was a metric conversion.
I also
there or
have
something.
a text out for Diesel Rainer as well, but haven't heard back yet. So we'll get there.
Yes.
I think people really understand how much work goes into this show.
All right, life is show prep.
Look
Look at what you did all week. You prepped just fine. I mean, you.
Brandon does a lot of things at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I don't
Steering with his knee.
Yeah. Well, I've tried to stop that. I got that camera that faces me in my pickup. So
you got a corporate camera on you?
I have to behave.
You keep your knee off.
Noah Madler picks up the INX Legends. The Madler boys, both Madlers are top notch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right away, I'm
Very
thinking,
competitive.
And Preston Martin's still the king, but the Madlers are showing muscle, and the Weists.
And the best part is the Madlers also, I'm trying to find it here. Where's it at? Have made, where are you at here? There we go. Have hooked Brandon. You guys can't see it because it's on my phone, but Team Brandon now has a logo.
Oh, my.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my. Look what Adam started.
Hey, don't say it.
We've heard this is going to happen, but yeah.
Yeah, so the Madler brothers hooking me up with a team logo. See, there's the real one. See how it says Team Brandon there?
Yep. I like the other one better.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You know what? You know what the best part is Team Brandon, the guy that has to tally the points. I just realized as I said that I haven't even tallied the points from last Sunday yet. So I don't even have up-to-date points for you guys later. But I guess I'll do it real quick when we're doing show prep.
Why we're talking to Levi? Right.
Did we miss anybody in the Underwood?
Sport mods.
Gabriel Deshaw picking up the sport mod. Was he at 101 now, or 100? He was 101 total career victories. He got his 100th up in Estevan.
Was it 100th or 50th?
Maybe 50th.
I think it was 50th.
50th.
Well, look at that top five.
Nonetheless, the 100's going to happen too.
The top five right there. That's a great race. I mean, Hanshu, he's showing great speed this year and completely capable of winning any night. Stan Tomlinson, there you go, another Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Had to go to the back in that deal too.
Yeah, right. Got involved in an early deal there. Came back. What'd Stan get again? Third, yeah.
And Tim Goodwin got fourth, and Mr. Roselli.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't had a show since then.
Wow. I just realized that
You just brought that up.
Yeah.
Tim Goodwin finishing 4th, and we'll stop our recap right there. On the way home, for those that don't know, I'm sure it's been around social media, but on the way home that night from the racetrack, he was heading to Minot, went through the city of Max, heading north, and right before you get to Sheresky-Agan there, driver going southbound in the northbound lanes, head on. Pretty serious accident, serious injuries. Justin Medler, our co-part here that is not here, good thing he was there that night, because it sounds like in talking to Smalls, he was there on the scene with Reed Hansen and Taylor Hanna, Smalls' girlfriend, and they were able to get the kids, or get Tim, wife, kid out of the vehicle. And
if I could add to that, Tom Schrader did a really nice interview with Tim. And Tim, I think we all remember when Larry McFall would always say, Smalls is my hero. He had a shirt that he would wear. And Tim, these are his own words, said that Smalls saved his life.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
I believe that's honest to the letter. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And putting his own life in jeopardy, because I did pull up on that scene, and to dive in there, and I'm thinking Smalls, to dive in there with no regard to your own life, if you would see the other vehicle was erupted in flames like I'd never seen, and just dive in there and take care of what bravo, Smalls.
React and jump in. Yeah. I thought maybe he got a little bit of that, through recovery with Ole and stuff like that, but like it was a knee-jerk reaction, and he done all the right things. Good on you, Smalls, and Reed and Taylor. It'll be some of your most memorable feelings of your life. We've all seen the pictures and stuff like that. It's man, divine intervention is all I got there. It's incredible.
When you see the pictures, you ask yourself, how did somebody live through that?
Yeah.
That's how scary it is. That's how. It's just
hard to put in words. Yeah.
It just puts everything into perspective. We take for granted that we're going to go to the races and we're going to come home from the races.
Yeah.
And just in the snap of your fingers, somebody doing something dumb or whatever they were doing, we don't know. Nobody knows what that person was doing, because that person
turned around or something.
That person is gone. That person died in the accident and is no longer. So we can't even ask them, like, what were you doing? What was your thought process? And we'll never get that answer. Tim will never get that answer. His family will never get that answer. And maybe they don't want the answer, but I know for me, I just, if that person was in a bad state of mind and chose to end his own life, why take somebody with you? Yeah. If that was his choice, and I don't know this, I'm speculating, or if he was drunk or high, something caused him to go the wrong way, because we got reports that he was going northbound in the southbound lane, and then he turns around and he comes back the other way, and that's when he hits Tim. There's something
that's exactly
not right
what the
there.
Highway Patrol report had stated. So. It's hard to put a picture in your mind on what's going on there.
And if I could share this, Tim and his family are living it. It could have been any of us.
It could have been any of us.
We all were coming home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Smalls tells the story best. I wish he was here to explain. Tim had just passed Smalls. After leaving Max, the city of Max, Tim had pulled out in the left lane and just passed Smalls. How much closer do you get than that?
What's 3 seconds? Maybe everything.
Everything.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Yeah.
It's unreal. I know when I got home that night, you just have to self-reflect. And when we got home, Jenny and I, we sat there with the kids, and we were in shock. We were in what disbelief? Like, how does this happen? And we just, like I explained to the kids that night, them middle of the night unnecessary road trips that they take, either Peyton to her boyfriend's up in Glenburn or Glenburn home or Max, whatever. Let's think about it before we do it. If we can just stay in place and drive the next day or whatever.
It does make you question things. It does.
And then you look at us on the Tougher Than Dirt tour, and I went in trying to make a conscious decision not to drive through the middle of the night to get to the next track, and we ended up doing it because we came home from Estevan and then we came home from Botno. But it could happen to you can't take it for granted anymore. It's made me think about it. Every time that we get in a vehicle and we go to a race, now you got to think about it.
Yeah. I've been through there a couple of times, and I slow down and just think about it for 10 minutes. They're going north of Max. So.
And I'm sure Tim,
my daughters work at Tresky Eggs, so
yeah,
so it's close.
Living in Williston,
yeah,
you're in Underwood on a Thursday night. I'm sure in his mind was,
I got to get home.
This is a big ride home.
That's just what I thought too.
Because another thing that I'm sure was going through the whole family's mind, we're excited about the Tougher Than Dirt Tour. We want to roll that thing.
Well, there was so much excitement. Tim stepped up this year as a sponsor on the Tougher Than Dirt Tour. He sponsored the Hobby Stock Heat. So we had a signboard made. He got every heat winner in the Hobby Stocks got a picture with that signboard. He was super excited for that. And the other excitement level is he is super busy with his shop. He's one of the best diesel repair mechanics. When it comes to a lot of this emission stuff that's on these new diesels, he knows his shit. I'm sorry I said that, but he knows what's going on with that stuff. And I was having issues with my Duramax, my yellow pickup. And it went over there. He fixed it up, ran phenomenal. He says, we need to put an exhaust on it. He ordered an exhaust. He put the exhaust on, and he made sure that truck was ready for the Tougher Than Dirt Tour. He said, it will be ready. You come get it. And Monday, it was ready before he left to go to Underwood that day. He sent me a picture, and I said, well, I'll get somebody over there. We'll get it over the weekend or something, and then all this goes down. And I my gratitude to him for working on the yellow pickup. And then the yellow pickup, phenomenal, the whole tour. Like, it's a different pickup. I was actually enjoying driving it.
Didn't miss a beat.
So like you were riding with Tim the whole tour.
Yeah. And it's just so many ties that – and then we Nodak Speedway Sunday night, we're jumping ahead a little bit because I want to talk Estevan. They had their night 2 on Saturday, but Nodak Speedway doing a pass the helmet, I think over $4,000 for Tim Goodwin.
I think that's what I heard, yeah.
Then every night of the Tougher Than Dirt Tour, we did a pass the helmet. We sold stickers every night of the Tougher Than Dirt Tour.
And I think that's why the generosity is so grand because, again, it could have been any of us.
Could have been any of us.
It sure could have been. Yeah.
Tim says it best, as I don't know what I was doing, but I said it somewhere. Tim says it. When we had our interview with him, when he called into our show, or we called him, he said, we're a racing family. He said it a couple times, did he not? And
Yeah, you're right. We had an interview with him there, and it was no more apparent than it is right now.
Right.
So.
Can I just stop a second? Jordan, you are so real and so pure. He's tearing up, right? You are so you are the best. You are the best. The empathy.
We're all so close to this all the time. We really are. And he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, right time, or however you want to say that. So
and I feel so guilty because I went straight from Tougher Than Dirt Tour into work Monday morning, and I'll be real with you, I probably shouldn't even be doing this show right now. I got enough work that I could be doing and reports and stuff that I got to get caught up on from last week, but I'm here doing it. I haven't made it over to see Tim yet, and I'm going to make it over there because I wanted Ben and I to make it over there before we left on Sunday, but we need to stop. I need to slow down and just stop and make time. I gotta stop waiting for the time to come and just make the time. I
well said. Yeah. Bring me with.
So
with that said, good on them. They're trying to make a light moment of it, if you will. She said, I have the feet, he has the hands. They're laying side by side. Good on them. I mean, they're 30 years old and they're young enough to heal, and they're determined. So that alone will go a long ways. They'll be back where they need to be soon.
Yep.
It's interesting how life has its ups and downs. I think you see a lot of when he got the victory at Nodak and that celebration in Victory Lane couldn't be a better picture. The little girl holding the trophy up.
And the raw emotions.
It's so beautiful on, again, how life has its ups and downs. And the good times wouldn't feel as good if there weren't some bad times.
Right.
The message is thoughts and prayers are with you. Goodwin family.
For sure.
Your racing family is here. bigger than you would ever know. Tim's mom was up in Botno on Saturday.
Oh.
She didn't want to get on the mic with me, but she felt the love for her son, thoroughly through that Thunder Mountain Speedway and the whole Tough in the Dirt Tour.
Especially on that day up there. I mean, it was all
We'll talk about
people.
it more as it goes on, but we just hit on that. We're going home from the racetrack that night. We don't have any more details other than what Tim is putting on Facebook. There's a GoFundMe out there. They are selling Goodwin shirts, so I recommend everybody go buy a shirt because so much of every shirt goes to the Goodwin. I don't know if anybody can put 2 and 2 on the details of this, but when there's a fatality and they can't figure out even who the person was or insurance, Tim was a private business owner, so maybe he didn't have, I don't know for sure, but he's losing work by him being in the hospital. There's so many things that we can help out with. And I know Tim is a prideful person and maybe doesn't want handouts, but Tim, goddammit, you're going to take it from us because we want to give it to you.
This ain't a handout. It's keeping you going. So you one of us. So
Maggie just checked in. Hey, guys. Maggie came up with the stickers. She printed the stickers, and her and Peyton sold them stickers every night of the Tough in the Dirt Tour.
good on you, Maggie. Great idea.
I think they did 10,000 steps a night trying to sell stickers.
Heck yeah.
They actually begged me for a golf cart next year. They said, Brandon, can you buy a golf cart? And I will figure out wheels for you girls next year.
We'll go rent some. We know a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, great stuff there. When I read the police report and it said serious but non-life threatening, I was greatly relieved. I wanted that to be exactly true, and it has been exactly true. So, yes, every day getting better.
Isaac just gave me the go-ahead if we have any questions about the races this upcoming weekend.
Okay.
To give him a call.
Okay.
So we will probably call him after we do Levi.
Because he was swinging it at the Gumpke.
Yep. So
Heck yeah.
on to Estevan Saturday. Friday night was Mandan, Dakota Speedway. The only, I think, Adam Goff. No, we're missing our weeks here.
No, it'll be Adam and Brock, 3-4.
Yep.
Right? Oh, wait, no, you got me thinking.
Oh,
was
man.
that the 3-4 night? Or was this past Friday the 3-4 night? This past Friday was
Well,
the 3-4
you guys are
night.
going way back.
Well, we got to go to the June, not 6th. We're on May 30th.
I think.
May 30th, the night before my birthday. We're only going to probably talk about mods and stock cars in this deal because those are the IMCA classes. Sean Strand won the IMCA Modifieds. Marlon Seidler won the stock cars. Brock Beater went +5 to finish 5th.
9-5, 10-5?
Yep.
10
to 5th.
Green arrows every night. Good on you, Brock. That's tough to do there. You're doing it.
Andrew Jokum was there. He got 3rd, went +8. Matt Dosh went +6 to 2nd. Jeff Hellman went +7. So Brock wasn't a hard charger by any means, but green arrows moving forward. Just touching on that really quick. I was there in attendance.
I'll take over. Brock's leading the points now in Mandan. We're all excited about that. So there's a handful of us all making sure things are pointed in the right direction there, and they are. So Brock's doing what he's supposed to do. Racing cars, getting green arrows.
Then we moved to my birthday, and we got to go racing at the Estevan Motor Speedway on my birthday, my 43rd birthday.
Yeah. You have other math to
the
represent
22nd anniversary of my 21st
birthday. Right. Yeah. As Chris Grinstead would say, is that stock car math? Well, sort of. Right.
I wasn't there, but I tuned in on Darn TV, and I could barely see the track from the smoke.
Yeah, pretty smoky night.
It was a smoky day up there.
Pretty smoky night. Keenan Glosser picked up the IMCA Sport Mod win. Yeah, you weren't there.
Yeah, I wasn't there, but I was watching it, and it was pretty smoky up there.
Yeah, it was a pretty smoky evening, but Keenan Glosser picking up the Sport Mod win. A good run by Keenan. He kind of needs something to turn his year around, I would say.
Yeah, he's a player that just hasn't landed where he wants to yet, so, yeah.
Hudson Mann picks up the slingshots.
Yes. When Hudson's on it, he is moving right along.
Yes, he is.
Just a dominating heat race there the other night, so...
Chris Hortness in the stock cars.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
I love that guy.
How cool is
He's a
his
racer.
car,
Man?
man?
I say that all the time.
Well, because I'm remembering the classic modified touring had a wicked roll.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I remember going into the pits, and he was great, and his wife was there, and they say to me, the car's shot. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's done. This is a good example, the good times and the bad times. That was a bad time for them. And then he looked everything but rock star status that night.
So they picked up that car from Jeremy Istash.
Yeah,
Jeremy
Istash,
right?
A buyout for sure. I think it had a motor in it. It had enough parts for a motor. I really, as impressive as it is, Craig, as you're saying, really the story behind it even makes it more impressive.
Yep.
Because it's not a brand new race car. It's somebody else's car that stepped back away from racing, and like I say, Chris is a great mechanic on top of it all. But he knows. I will parallel Chris with Esteban as we would parallel Sean Strand with Mandan. I think that's pretty fair. And Chris is that good at Esteban. He's that good anyway, but I mean, he doesn't travel much. So, but even taking a foreign car to him, and on the second night out, he finds Victory Circle. Salute, friend. I mean, that's the stockers are moving right along.
And if I could steal a phrase from you, his presentation, that car doesn't look nothing like what he's driven before. That I remember, yellow,
Yeah, changed up his colors a little bit. First night he had duct tape numbers on, so the wrap wasn't ready yet. And I think he got third the first night. But then to come back with a freshly wrapped car looking pretty, a little bit different colors, I agree. And but to put it in Victory Circle, how rewarding. I mean,
with Gabe looking at your heels and Jeremy Swanson,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, no lack of players, and Chris is solid. Like I say, I'm going to parallel him, Sean Strand style in Mandan. That's what Chris is to me in Esteban.
To keep the Schulp Glosser theme going, Cody Schulp picking up the A-Mod win. He is legit.
Remember last year I said Cody's the real deal? Cody's beyond the real deal.
He's beyond.
He's RTJ status.
He put it to Steve Pfeiffer. Passed him and drove away.
It's fun to watch. I wasn't there that particular night, but I've seen it before, and of course we've seen it over the weekend. The Codesmeister, he is something.
Well, if I can continue my theme of the good times and the bad times, and that there's light at the end of the tunnel for Tim, Cody went through his own struggles.
Great comparison.
Yeah. And look at him now.
Cody went through a hellacious crash. Yeah. Just short of taking his life. And has turned it around into a championship modified racer. So, yeah. Tim and the family are on the right track. We know that. But, yeah, Cody is proving it every weekend. So, he is fun to watch.
Steven and Aaron, still got what it takes.
For sure.
And I don't want to take anything away from Steven and Aaron. I don't. But we all know the kings of the family are Eli and Slayton. They're coming. And that is the two battles that are brewing. 5 years from now, Dakota Classic Modified Tour or Tougher Than Dirt Tours, wherever it is.
The names might be the same, last names, but the first names have changed. Yeah.
Steve and Aaron are probably thinking, hey, wait a damn minute. Yeah. It's happening. It's just what?
Don't tread on me yet.
Yeah, you don't have a choice in the matter. It's happening. Caden Tuchscher picks up the hobby stock feature win.
What started off to be really the start of a great week for him. I thought Caden was on it again that night. He's backed it up since, and he's in the middle of this hobby stock race.
So, what's weird about that is Caden Tuchscher. He's got that color, just like
Chris Tuchscher.
Yeah.
That teal color.
Yeah. Right. Caden maybe a little bit more green. Chris maybe a little bit more blue, but along the same turquoise
in
colors.
My mind, I'm thinking there's some relation there, but
there's not.
And he is good. Led a lot of your tour.
Yep.
I was sleeping on him. big.
Yeah,
big time. I disrespected.
He's evolving before our eyes.
He kicked this off with a win on that Saturday night before the tour. Mm-hmm. The one I got to talk about that's getting closer and closer, and look out, world. I almost got a birthday present for Max.
Max has got the speed. He's not closing it, but he's got the speed.
He broke a right front ball joint. Dang it.
Yeah, right.
In the lead.
Mechanical.
Turn one. Parked
Turn
it.
one.
But that's...
Isn't
that been his problem, though?
Not this problem. This was a different right front ball joint problem.
This is bottom.
No, it's always been the bottom, but this one didn't break because it was loose. This one broke just because you add up a rough Fargo, you add up a little bit of some choppiness on Estevan opening night. You kind of start adding everything together, and Estevan wasn't smooth that night either.
Fatigue cycle got the best of it.
And honestly, that ball joint is, let's be real, 6-7 years old because it's been in the car since Brock sold it to Terry Lodgeland.
So the bottom hadn't broke yet, or that side hadn't broke yet.
This is a different car.
Right.
Than what he broke. So Brody has the car that broke all the lower ball joints.
Okay. Right.
So we fixed it up. And we're good to go.
Side note, Max is way up there in what I'll call the Tyson lane. Tyson Turnbull lane. Whoa!
It is.
Aaron was up in there the night he won, but whoa!
That's
way up there.
I try to make it a point not to talk about Max and Brock, but we're going to talk just for a minute. Everybody at home, if you don't like it,
I will.
Tune out for a minute. Max, the previous week, watched Caden Appelt rip the top. and Max went up there, and he kind of ran a few laps up there and then dove back to the bottom and said, I don't think that's for me. Yeah. And he talked about it, how it's on the edge, how you're on the ragged edge. He went into Estevan. He started on the pole. When you DNF, you get to start up front. He's DNFing it quite a bit, so he's starting up front. He starts on the inside pole, and he got a good launch, and he takes it right to the top, right in Estevan. Yeah. He's taking it right to the
turn
top.
Clyde, right.
Yeah. He's going in there. He clears the guy. He doesn't run anybody off the track, and he's making it a point. I'm running the Caden line, and that's what it is. Fast forward to Sunday night now. Before the tour, he's racing his hobby stock in Minot. He doesn't get to race the tour because he's my flag man, and he does it again. We'll talk about it as we get there. But he's starting to hopefully – I think Brock and I got a little too excited last year moving him to a sport mod. We stunted his growth as a racer because we thought he was ready, but he's not ready. Does that make sense? Let's keep him in a hobby stock for a few more years.
He needs this environment a little longer.
Yes.
He needs a steering quickener yesterday. But he needs this environment for a little bit longer.
Tell me about that top groove that you're talking about, because I'm not getting it. Is it just scary because you're worried about going off the top?
Yes. Yep. You're.
But would you say 90% of the time it's the best groove?
To the right driver with the right mentality at the right time.
You need to enter it high. And that's the toughest thing as a driver, I'll say.
Yep.
Because it's easy to drop back about 2 lengths down and then kind of bump into the curb, if you will. You don't go fast enough then. You have to enter high. And you have to throw all caution to the wind. Your instincts are saying, dude, you are going to land in the water.
Yep.
But then you turn, and it's so far around up there. I mean, the speed you got to carry to compete with somebody down low is just incredible.
You're going in the corner, and you're looking to the left. As the car kicks out and you're in the throttle and you're you're up and around the high side, you're watching guys pass you down low. You're looking down going, they're passing me.
At half the speed.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you come out of the corner and you're hoping and praying that they ain't coming all the way to the top because you're coming with speed. You're going about 30 miles an hour faster than they are.
Etiquette is if you think they're on top, you leave a lane because they're coming by because now your speed is going to catch them mid-straightaway. And then reset up for the next corner.
But then you're carrying all that speed for the next turn then again.
Yep, and it takes sometimes 2 or 3 laps to get what we call
clean it off or get the feeling.
Get the momentum or get the feeling.
Get some confidence that you're not going to fall off because you haven't yet.
It's kind of like when you have that, when you put a baseball in a sock and you start to, the sock doesn't get stretched out right away, and after about the 3rd one, then it's stretched out,
Yeah, good scenario. Again, what I found the key is you need to enter way up there down the straightaway. In Estevan, you're against the wall, and you stay there all the way in. And I'm telling you, as a driver, that's hard to do. You think you are not going to turn. You think you're going to Dukes of Hazzard it off the end. But if you drop it down a couple lanes and you can bump into it, some security. but then you're not fast.
It's really
You missed
fun
it.
when the track sets up where it can be that way. Jamestown was like that at the Gumpke with Quentin Kisley on the top and Johnny C on the bottom, and it was almost equivalent. So that is really, really cool.
Yeah. Those are races fun to see. Yeah.
So now we'll roll into Nodak.
I wonder if we're at the bottom of the hour yet.
Nope, not quite. We're going to roll through Nodak.
We haven't even got to the tour yet.
We have 11 minutes to roll through Nodak, and then we're going to get the tour champion on, and then we'll roll through the tour.
We're touring? Mm-hmm. Sunday night.
Not trying to rush it. Sunday night, June 1st. We're going to June 1st, the one that raced, not last Sunday night that rained.
Right.
Boo.
Hang with us.
Five classes. The feature racing got kicked off with Taylor Stenvold winning the IMCA Sport Mod feature. His second win of the year.
Mm-hmm. Been solid ever since that opening night win.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, who'd ever saw that coming?
Yeah. Inside traders.
Gabe Deshaw, Chad Stretchin, Keenan Glosser.
You asked.
Your top four. Chad Stretchin always hanging around.
Yeah.
Hanging around.
He
He's always
is
there.
having a year.
Yeah. Chatty's back in the game. Who's ever chatty, he is.
All last year, I was dogging on Matt Hamilton. I'm like, how long does it take to put a motor together? Well, he did all right. Yeah. I got to give him a break.
Fine wine takes time. Sometimes.
IMCA Sport Compacts, Zach Eubanks. He's got to be on a streak. Let me look at his schedule here.
Yeah.
Let me click on it. Schedule. He's got to be on about a 5 or 6. Yeah, he's April 27th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row with Thunder Mountain Speedway on tour night.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, he's established himself as the guy to beat, and maybe you can't.
Oh, Lily's the Zach killer. She's coming.
Yeah, I was going to say, but Lily is finding she found a little speed last year. I see her finding baseline speed higher this year. Her speed is higher this year as her baseline, so she's sniffing around. She's going to come in for the kill here pretty soon.
All I know, Zach, and this is out of well due respect, 6 in a row overall is getting very close to bounty time. And not take out bounty, beat bounty.
Nobody likes you anymore. It's a wonderful area. You're right.
This bounty is not to wreck Eubanks. Actually, if somebody were to wreck him,
it don't count then.
It don't count.
Yeah. It's got stipulations.
Well, where's Norman been?
Norman?
Yeah.
That car is gone down the road.
Whoa.
Blew the motor up.
And then it went away too?
Yeah, I think
is it just waiting for a motor?
No, I think we parted ways with the car. Just the expense of fixing it and putting extra money into it. Just kind of somebody offered some money for it, and down the road it went.
Wow.
Just today I took my ticket out that didn't win. Had the numbers right, not in the right order.
Right.
So Craig, we got to get ready for the 11C next year.
Next year.
Okay.
Well, I'm due to beat you anyway. Back to the banquet.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
You buy your 50-50 tickets at the wrong time.
He gets the $400.
Tina said, we already played. I said, I didn't.
We forgot in the sport mods, we forgot to bring up that Pace Herrera was in town. Price, Utah. Came up for the Tough of the Dirt Tour, joined us on Sunday, June 1st.
I got him on Facebook. The kid is super ambitious. He's always looking for ways to raise fundage for his racing, whether he's lawn caring it or what. I don't think there's anything he won't take a shot at doing.
How old?
Super ambitious. I think he's 16. He's not very big, and but he is determined. Got to meet his dad again on Facebook. His dad, J.R. Herrera, Addiction Chassis. Donald Robinson is involved. Our own Dilly Bar worked there for a while. Ben Seidler was involved in some of that there some years back. Good cars, out of the Utah area, so pretty good on dry track stuff for sure. And it was neat to see them both up here supporting your tour and stuff like that. Like everybody else, he has ups and downs in racing, but he's focused. I like it. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He's a young man with a plan, so yes.
Caden Appelt ripping the top, as we just explained.
It's got to be the race of the year so far, doesn't it?
It has to be close.
Morgan's in town.
Morgan Olmsted from Overton, Nebraska's in town.
The heat is turned up.
maybe a David Goliath thing, kind of, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Gladiator stuff. Who's who?
Right.
Well, I mean, that's with 5 laps to go. It was time to see who's who.
Yep.
So, yeah. Good to see Morgan back in the game and all that there. But our own local Caden that doesn't travel much has got the mustard. So
Brad Orvidal from Fargo was also in town. Mm-hmm. He led a majority of the beginning of that race, and Caden was in second. And the car, everybody was kind of flirting down low, flirting with that middle half of the middle.
Brad was working the lowish line,
half to bottom, middle half to bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, the kind of following him.
And everybody was in line. You could tell that maybe Caden was a little quicker, didn't know what to do with it, tried to get a little out of line, didn't commit to the top. Morgan squeezed in there underneath Caden, and that gave Caden really no other choice. It's like, what do I do now? Do I go in line behind him and hopefully he messes up, or send it in up high?
Gas her up and see what happens. That's what it looked like to me. Gassed her up to see what would happen, and then it took off.
Yeah. Adam Goff said, "Race of Brad's life." It was.
Yeah,
I don't know Brad very well. I just know him in talking to him at the pits and the trailer and stuff.
Adam and him are real close. He's a machinist at M&J Automotive in Fargo. I have some work done by him also. Adam was involved in the chassis setup on that deal there, and Adam shared that when it happened to it, was the race of his life. I mean, if you get a chance to talk to Brad, he's kind of my age, so
yeah,
and. He was ecstatic, and good job to you, Adam. You definitely had him on the right path and going the right way. He turned around and drove home that night and went to work Monday morning, so that's
props
a long
to
ways
him.
away.
And then the theme,
Yes.
Diesel Reynard third. Very rarely in any hobby feature is he not going to be in your top 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's always in the discussion and the results. Good point.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna give props.
Yeah.
I know
47 cars.
Don't apologize for it.
He's happening.
Stick your chest out there.
Max Beater sat there and he was running. I don't know what his deal was at the beginning. He started inside row 3 and fell to the back. He was running 13th with going into the last caution, and I think the caution was with 2 or 3 laps to go, and he just decided he restarted on the outside, and I jokingly said, your marbles that are down between your legs turned into grapefruits, because he did the same thing Caden did, and he passed 6 cars in turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. And I was announcing it is so hard. I'm calling the race to the lead, and I'm doing this, but I got my right eye. I'm almost cross-eyed or uncrossed or whatever. Like, how's Max doing? Oh, okay, he's right there. Wow, where did he come from? Ends up 4th. So
no, Max has got speed. He's working on closing, but he's in his environment now. So
yep.
There's good things coming. Plenty of year left.
And then Jason Walla picks up the A-Mod feature. Kind of went unseen there. Kind of Marcus Tomlinson second, Steve Pfeiffer. Walla was gone. He got out front and was.
Yeah, he kind of galloped it in. So. Mm-hmm.
Look at that top 5 though. Hot Sauce is up in there. Steven, Drew, but Marcus, I'm telling you, and I don't think it's coincidental. Since we interviewed him, he has been on a tear.
Yeah, seconds, thirds.
The Gumpke, I thought he was going to win that thing. I mean, he talked about driving the top. I'm high on Marcus right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can run the bottom and or the top, and his day is coming. It's got to be close because all the parts are there.
So you were in Botno with us.
Yeah.
And you still somehow watched the Gumpke?
Well, it's on your channel.
on Craig's phone. Apparently.
Okay. This is the bad thing, is you can watch it while you're driving home, which you shouldn't be doing that.
But here we are. You shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. I got nothing.
Just to tell you
I was home.
how little prep I did for anything. I have not watched the Gumpke, and I haven't even watched Brock. I haven't even watched Friday Night in Mandan while we were on the tour
either, and I apologize for
well,
that too.
I was in Botno, and there was some chatter in the crowd about Isaac getting 5th. So I got to see how that goes.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I'm crossing my...
Yeah, we're kind of talking about 2 different weekends, but it's all good.
Too many races.
a lot of racing, guys. We were fearing we'd get a little cross-threaded here, so.
See what we got going on here.
And I did send a text to you guys about the Tougher Than Dirt tour for next year. And I think I said something about no Canadians allowed. Because they're whipping us.
Canadian domination.
Our champion we're going to talk to there.
Yeah.
Diesel.
And Eli.
Come on.
Hat trick. Yes.
Let's see if we can get this rolling here.
Oh, we at the bottom of the hour?
Pretty close. We're done
Speaking
with
of the flag, man.
We're done
How's
with
it going, buddy?
Minot recap. And
Hi, Max.
We're talking good about you, which hasn't always been the case. Welcome aboard, pal. We were talking about all the courage you had running the top there. Ooh, you had rooster tails off both back tires, buddy. You're up in no man's land.
let's see if this dials out here.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Hey, Levi, Brandon Beater, Jordan Boyce, Craig Heupel, Dirt Weekly here. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Probably not as good as you after a nice little payday this last weekend.
Yeah, what a week.
Yeah, it was like the week.
So 2025 Tougher Than Dirt Tour. Leading into it, were you building momentum? You were having some good runs. Did you feel as good as you looked going into it?
I'm still speechless about it. I don't know. We've been struggling for the last couple of years, and we just seeked out for some help and found some major issues that we were just flabbergasted by. It was like, why? I don't even know how we were running in the top 10. And, we just started putting 1 and 2 together, and we've been just slowly getting a little bit better and a little bit better. But
Levi, who do you reach out to help with?
as far as Aaron, Dad, he's been getting back in it. Usually Dad's just more the motor, carburetor kind of thing. But we've been just kind of learning together, and now that Landon is in the sport mod, we've been bouncing ideas off each other as far as his car to my car. Cody, I text him quite often. I mean, there's just so many guys that, I mean, I kind of grab ideas from a little bit of everybody and try to do one thing at a time and see if it works or not.
Well, that's a stout group of people you're getting information from for sure. And you got Aaron and Cody in there. And like you say, your dad's got some background racing too. Just exciting to see. You found Victory Circle twice during the deal. And like you say, you kind of some things obviously you got behind on chassis tuning or whatever. But nonetheless, you found it. And, man, you just sat there and put it all together. We hate that Minot didn't run, but nonetheless, it doesn't change the fact that you are the champion of 2025. And like I say, when you got 2 victories doing it, it removes all doubt for me. So good to see you up to speed, man.
Levi,
Yeah.
Jordan and I are old. And for a long time, when you came on the track, the 25, it was a struggle for me not to think Hank Berry, smoking Hank. And you are making that 25 your own.
Yeah, for sure. Heck yeah.
With 25 with an R.
Yeah, the 25 come from Dad. Dad always ran 25 forever, for as long as he raced. I think the last 2 years or whatever, then he wasn't the best modified driver there. He ran the 0. I don't know what was behind that, but he changed the 0. But 25 was always my number.
Yeah, and then 52 for your brother. So, heck yeah. Like you say, you're able to draw from each other, and/or each are trying something to bring both your packages up to speed. And I I think that's pretty deadly. Basically, you're doing double testing at single speeds, so you find some speed pretty quick.
You're seeing that more and more. The guys that are finding success have a mate.
Yeah.
You need to get Jed in a car.
I need to get in the car that looks like Adam's so I can do my part. But yeah, and or Jed or Damon. Yeah, I mean it's just more enjoyable when you got a team, and of course Brock's involved in this too. And the season just showed up too quick for me. But nonetheless, back to Levi here having his go at it. That all matters, and it's super rewarding when it comes together like it does.
So Levi, you open the tour with a 10th in Underwood. You roll into Dickinson. I think you would believe that the Southwest Speedway owed you one from a couple years ago when you led a good majority, had some issues, and then you pick up the W. That had to feel good.
That was I don't know if I've ever been more emotional. Just to have that dad there with me too on that was huge. Yeah, 2 years ago we went into it, never been there, never even watched a race there, and we just went into it thinking, okay, well, we'll give this a go, and we ended up winning the heat, starting outside pole, I think it was, and me and Medler, we took off at the field, and I think, I don't know how many laps there would have been, not very many, and I slid Medler, he slid me back. I led for around 2 laps, and then the caution come out, and I don't know, Dickinson has some issues with their scoring loop or whatever, but ended up putting me back a spot, and that next restart, my coil wire, my distributor, figured that it was enough.
Oh no!
And ended my night, so we were pretty upset with that. And then going back to last year, we ran there as well, won the heat. Again, we started, I think, second row or something, and we were passing for the lead, actually going to pass Tim on the bottom, and power steering crapped out. My power steering pump, one of the little fins inside broke off, and C's are solid there, so that was, we haven't had the best luck there, but we have had luck, and just to get out front early and start out front early and lead that whole deal was something special.
As you're saying, you've had the speed, but you haven't had the mechanical luck, and this is one of those sports where it's man and machines. So good on you for being able to bring them all together at the same time for that feature win. Fresh reminder of how important the mechanics of the car is. So
how's the body feeling after the tour?
Well, I went. We come home Sunday there, and I didn't do too much when I got home. I basically just unstrapped my car and I left it in the trailer. And I went into a night shift on Monday night, and I slept all day Monday. I was exhausted. I just got off.
Believe it.
I just got off nights here this morning, so.
So was there a little bit of relief that Nodak was canceled, or was I was pouting about it all day on Sunday. Can't race. I was just very upset about it.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to race. I said right in my interview in Botno, I said I want to race this championship how it should be. And when I was in Tech, me and Gabe came over and congratulated me, and we got talking, and I just told him, I said that I hope we get to race this thing out, man. And sad that we couldn't, but we had a good week, and just the cards were dealt to our advantage, and we ended up getting her done. So.
Yeah, you did what you're supposed to, and good on you. So, to touch on Mother Nature there, it was a no-brainer. We got plenty of rain, so nobody was going to race on that track for a while. So, great congratulations. Doing good in racing is a great feeling, and I know what you're feeling, and I'm excited for you. So, got a lot of the season left, and just good luck for the rest of the season from me.
I was able to take in Underwood and then also Botno. But when I saw in Botno, it's like you guys were just like a traveling city. Did you stay? Do you sleep at the track? Do you sleep in the hauler? What's going on there?
No, we slept in the hotel every night. Like the first night we went just to Bismarck, and then drove in the morning to Dickinson and just kind of deal like that. We got to stay at home there 2 nights, but We didn't end up showing up to the track in Estevan till I think just right after 5 o'clock. We were just busy in the garage all day, just making sure everything was good. And I mean, it's a long week, man. I'm glad it's over, but I also, I want to keep the momentum going and keep racing. But
Levi,
we'll be out this weekend.
can I ask how old you are?
21st. I'm 27 now. Getting
Okay.
old here.
So then this question's appropriate, and I know Canadian style, they're like their beer. So I'm just wondering, on the tour, do you pace yourself? Do you partake? How do you manage all that?
I mean, we always got to drive that night, so I mean, obviously we don't get too after it, and by the time you get down to the hotel and after the long nights, we're pretty exhausted. So it's not too much drinking. And we're pretty relaxed in that department. But I mean, obviously, if we had a motorhome or something we're staying at the track, I'm sure we'd be partaking pretty good.
So
ma'am.
If you've ever watched this show, I have a tough time keeping these guys on track. I was going to work through the tour night by night, but these guys have jumped all over the place.
We're helping.
You pick up the win at the Southwest Speedway. You roll into Williston. You get second. Is there any thought as a racer? There's a rule on the Tougher Than Dirt Tour. You get to drop your worst night. Are you thinking about it at that time? You're hoping that maybe Underwood's your worst night after you win and get a second. Is that a thought that goes through your head or not?
I knew we needed a strong rest of the week. Yeah, we went into the week and we said we were going to try things and bounce, the night prior to go into the next night. That's the nice thing about the tour is, if I'm only racing every second week and say we try something, well, then we got to wait 2 weeks to try something else. And at that point, it's like, do you want to give up? Maybe losing that many spots or whatever just because, we overshot it and didn't hit it right. But on the tour, yeah, we went into it saying, okay, well, we're going to change this, and we know exactly what we're going to do in tomorrow, and if it's not better, then we'll just change it tomorrow and just kind of worked at that pace. But yeah, no, I thought we were okay in Underwood. Obviously 10th, I mean, any top 10 I'm happy with, but just from there to Dickinson, we changed more things and just kept doing that. Kept changing more things, and yeah, I don't know. It's a mind game.
Then you roll up to Estevan, and to kind of go back to the Dickinson night, you pick up the win, and you see one of the top competitors like Gabe Deshaw get a DNF at the end of the night. So maybe your mind, goes to, hey, my worst is a 10th, his worst is now a DNF, which on that night I think was an 18th. You go to your home track in Estevan. Gabe is tough up there because he's won the championship. Are you want to win, but in the same time, when you get to second behind him, are you just trying to stay there and keep him in your sights?
I mean, at that time, yes. I mean, when I look back at the race now, I'm like, why didn't I do this different? Or, I kept taking the top on the restart, and in reality, I probably should have went to the bottom and pushed Chad up, but that's just, I don't know. I find myself as a respectful racer, and I mean, any given night, I'll take second to Gabe. It's especially with that in the back of my mind, I didn't want to throw something in and end up taking out either me and him. Or
and
deal for both of us.
You brought up Chad Stretchin. And I don't know, I'd have to look some serious history up. I don't know the last time Chad Stretchin was at the Estevan Motor Speedway.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
You've raced with him in Minot. You what?
I said he asked me in the beanbag toss if this place ever gets slick. So yeah, he had no idea.
He has no idea.
Amen. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna get slick. It's been every single tour night they will give us a good track. So, I don't know when. I never asked how long it's been, but he made it sound like it's been a while.
honestly, I don't even know if Chad even remembers the last time he was up there. He was kind of questioning me before that night, going, "Okay, I don't have a passport. I got this and this. Do you think I'm going to make it across?" And I go, "Yeah, you'll be just fine. A lot of people get across with an ID and a birth certificate." But to race with a guy like Chad, you've raced with him in Minot, and now you get to race with him on. It's so fun to race with guys like that when they come to your track, isn't it?
Yeah, just going. I mean, I raced him in Minot, and he's blown my doors off every single time. And I mean, he's a clean racer. I mean, look at that. Watch back that race. That both of us could have squeezed each other out, but not once did we touch or even come close to touching. I mean, he's I respect him, and it's good to get guys like that because, well, it just goes to show.
Yeah, it's very admirable for sure. Feeling good about racing people the way you want to be raced. I like it. So,
and then we roll into the Thunder Mountain Speedway, which the Thunder Mountain Speedway is one of them tracks, and this is not a dig on them, but it can just be a wild card. It's a smaller, tighter racetrack that it can just be that wild card race of the tour.
It looks innocent.
Yeah, until you get out there. Plus, you have the added pressure of it being the Robbie Conway Memorial. I mean, a memorial race for a fellow sport mod racer that, did things the right way in a race car, so everybody wants to be like Robbie, per se, and you show up. Did you win your heat on that night? I'd have to look up again.
No.
No, you actually you actually started first and finished third. You went backwards in your heat, but you were still able to make the beanbag toss. And you threw bags good enough to start outside front row. And that set the tone. You were able to lead every lap of that feature.
And that was the appropriate place to be, is out front. Because if you were anywhere but there, you were getting your butt tapped.
It was touch and goes, huh? Touchy feelies.
We had the best luck drawing this week. I don't know. We drew one night over 10, and the other 3, it would have been 4 other nights we drew under 10. So we were.
Oh wow.
We were hot in that department for one.
Yeah, but so the beanbag toss, the beanbag toss in intermission isn't drawing. That's skill.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, we did okay in that too. Yeah.
You had a good draw to get you started in the heat, but you had to beanbag your way to the feature. Nonetheless, you were participating in everything, and that's a good place to be. So,
yeah, sure.
And then we had an anonymous person put up some extra money, so I announced at the pit meeting that there was an added $1,300 cash to the A main winner in the sport mods.
That was a big payday.
Yeah.
And that cash, I mean, did that have extra motivation, or was it just being the tour and just wanting to win so you can set yourself up in points? What meant more on that deal?
You know what? The craziest thing is when you first said that in the pit meeting, I was just shaking my head. I was like, "Oh God, here we go. This might be a mess."
A demo fest.
And we raced. Yeah, we went out for the heat race, and I totally forgot about it. And I said to Dad, it was when that green-white checkered come out, and the caution come out, and all of a sudden in my head I said, "Holy moly, this is for $2,000 US."
Yeah, it's more than that. Yeah,
No,
2,500 Canadian probably.
Maybe more.
Yeah, I just said to myself, I was like, "No, you can't think about that right now. Just keep doing what you're doing." And,
You got 2 more laps.
but yeah, it was crazy. 'Cause I totally forgot about it, and it wasn't. It would come out, that caution come out, and I just thought, "Holy man, this is for a lot of money here."
That's so cool. That is so cool. Great job.
Yeah, and then to find you after the races, I was trying to get that money out of my pocket. I don't like carrying that stuff around with me, and I caught you in your trailer or whatever. Just it's so cool that people put that up, and just to make that night even more special.
I don't think there was a kid in the stands that did leave with a bike.
Oh, is it one of those good bike nights, huh?
The Conway family does it up right.
Yeah.
Rod, Shirley, Randy Conway, Kylie, Chase,
Chase.
everybody And honestly, the Thunder Mountain Speedway, Kevin Perdue is the president up there, his gang. The presentation, I think as you call it, Jorn, was spot on that night. Wouldn't you agree, Levi?
Yeah. Didn't miss nothing.
Yeah, I mean, we've only been there twice now, and I thought it was both really good turnouts. It's little ways out of town or whatever, but I mean, it doesn't seem to shoo away anybody, and obviously we weren't given the best weather that night, but it seemed like they still made pretty good out of the deal.
Yeah, the weather was rough for sure, but the racing made up for it. That kept you there.
Mm-hmm.
Levi, did you have any mechanical troubles that popped up on the whole tour?
No, surprisingly not. I mean, we've been good on our maintenance program for my whole deal. I mean, I work hard with my car, and I mean, obviously, we just needed all the luck, the luck for once where we, a distributor coil wire or whether it be a power steering pump that just said it was enough. I mean, that's nothing I can do on my end to check that. I mean, it's just the luck of the draw, and we got lucky this week, and everything came together finally.
So Diesel hasn't responded to my text message. He's slow at responding. So if when we get you off the phone here in a few minutes, shoot him a text. Tell him to answer me. Unless he's at work. Does he work night shift as well, or?
No, Diesel is working for the farm, Raynard Farm, I believe. He just hauls grain, but I know him and Riley like their sleep, so I think
oh, okay.
there's a good
Well,
could be having their afternoon nap.
Oh, that's the best part I like. Find out the
Afternoon
real
nap.
deal. Uh-huh.
You had a great tour.
Yep.
My best story that I have for you, Levi, is when Brock and I were racing up there. You were a young kid. How old were you when you started? 14?
Yeah, I would have been 14 years old.
And I think it was your rookie year, and you made the tech area, and Brock and I think scared the bejesus out of you because we were so excited for you down in the infield when you made the tech area that you thought you did something wrong, maybe.
Yeah, and then are you talking about the night I won that night, or?
Well, I think it was just making the tech area. Maybe it was the night you won. I can't remember exactly, but you made the tech area with us, and Brock and I were both in hobby stocks. I don't know if it was 2012, 13. I don't know exactly the year, but it was 13. And we were just as excited for you.
Because I have I don't know where the GoPro footage is, but I had a GoPro in my car that time, and I remember I had my helmet on, my window net up still, just in shock because that was my first win.
Yep.
And I remember you coming up to my window and just screaming in my window, like, "Way to go, buddy!" Like, you were just fired up for me. You, Brock, Brad King. Yeah, that was special for sure.
Great memories.
Yeah, it's that's my favorite story with you, because you were so young then, and I just loved going up to Estevan and meeting the family, and it's always good to talk to your dad. It is. It's Estevan's like my second home up there, and it just feels so cool to go up there and appreciate everything that goes on, and yeah.
Yep.
I wish there wasn't a border between us. Can we annex you guys in, just go up around Estevan and bring you down to North Dakota?
Yeah.
Yes, please do. I don't know, there's a lot of us that wouldn't be against that. So, we're lucky that, I mean, obviously crossing all the time, we've had good luck. I find the more you cross, the better they are to you. So,
in
that department, because I know a lot of people are scared to cross because of their experiences with the border.
Ben Dethridge, we had him up here announcing the tour, and he made the same comment. So last year he went across with Hulberg, who Nick Hulberg doesn't go across very often, and then he comes with me, and I'm across every time Estevan races. And the border crossing, both direction, we did not spend a total of 5 minutes at the border crossing, if you add up both ways. Mm-hmm. And he goes, well, maybe there's something, because I go, I don't know. I don't know why, but it's been like this for the last 3 years for me. It's just like I pull up, hand him my passport. Okay, you have 10,000, you have a knife, you have veggies, whatever the questions they ask. Nope. Don't be a smart ass, Brandon. And boom, through the border we go. He goes, well, I guess I'd know who I'm riding with in the future to go across the border.
Well, I'm sure, Levi, the Border Patrol was wondering, where are you coming up with this 3,000 American if you live in Canada? What are you pulling down there?
No shit. That'd
be the part they didn't ask about.
They didn't ask about prize money. So
Yeah,
I
right.
never told them,
Yeah. Answer the questions. Don't add anything. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I've been asked multiple times about the prize money deal, and kind of like I don't know what to say in that predicament, but I just always be straight up with it. But like I think it's always the new people working the border. They're always the ones asking that question. So I don't know if there's something that we're not supposed to be doing in that situation, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that goes.
Yeah, I ain't never been asked nothing about prize money, but you get the normal questions, of course. You got I don't know, any guns or anything like that, or
whenever
pepper spray, or
whenever they ask us, did you leave anything behind? And I say, well, probably some pride, but that's about it.
Yeah. They play along good on that one. They've heard it from me too.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, congratulations. We have a special. No, I don't know about special. We have a trophy presentation ceremony that we're going to do up at the Estevan Motor Speedway on the 21st. I'm going to bring all 3 trophies since all 3 of you Canadians won. So it's going to be a fun night up there. We'll take some pictures and celebrate your tour championship since we didn't get to do it at the Nodak Speedway Sunday night.
Now, see, that sounds like home cooking to me. What's the deal, Levi, with all you Canadians taking all of this? I'm claiming issues.
Yeah, the luck, man. I don't know what else to say about it.
It's the ketchup-flavored potato chips.
It could be.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The last I got to say is thanks, Brandon and Jenny and all you guys for putting this on. I mean, it's good to give back to the sport mod and hobby stock drivers. Like I mentioned on Facebook, it's nice to be the show for the tour and race on the better of the track, in my opinion, anyway. So I just like to say thanks to you guys for doing that, Brandon, and hopefully next year we'll see you there again.
Yeah, we appreciate it. The fact that you guys come out in full force and support us is payment enough. We can't tell you how much we appreciate everybody that races it.
It's easy to talk about and hard to do.
Yep.
And you did it.
It's a grueling. It can be a grueling 6 nights. I mean, this year was 5, but it is truly a lot of hard work by you racers, by Jenny, my family, everybody involved that goes to all 6 nights. It's a long journey.
Mm-hmm. It's an experience. That's awesome. Good on everyone.
And we're planning on doing it again next year. I hope nothing changes between now and then, but Tougher Than Dirt Tour 11 will be next year.
You're rejuvenated. You were
only
kind
took 2 days. Maybe 3 counting Sunday.
I was leading up. I'm not going to lie, Levi. Leading up to the tour, these guys were here on the Dirt Weekly. I was questioning the future of the tour. I really was. I don't know how much energy I could put into it anymore because it just wears a guy out.
I watched that episode and I was wondering in my head if this was the last one, and I sure was hoping it wasn't. But I know if it's on next year, obviously if work lets it happen, maybe we'll see both of the runs cars and me for sure. Anyways, hopefully.
Exciting! You should be able to give them the dates right now.
Yeah, June 2nd to the 7th. So
there you have it.
Put in the time off. I just looked it up. I should have announced it already. I honestly haven't had time to do anything.
51 weeks to warn them.
Yep. To be real with you, I think what rejuvenated me, and I know Maggie's on here, she's commenting, the group, there wasn't really much that changed in my group. We added Jake Nelson as race director, which did an amazing job. and we added Ben Deathridge as announcer, which did an amazing job, and Maggie came on as the photographer. Just the group of people I was with, I think that rejuvenated me, Levi. I'll be real with you. I think just the week and how much fun we had and how much laughing and joking, it made it feel like it wasn't work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that too. Yep.
So I think it's
you
safe.
guys do a great job at it.
It's safe for another year. Well, we'll let you go so you can get back to life. I know you said you were working night shift previous to now, so we thank you for taking our call and giving us about a half hour.
Yeah.
So
top of the hour.
Yeah, we went from the bottom to the top.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yep. Hopefully we'll see you at Nodak this weekend, and good luck.
Congratulations again, friend.
Yeah.
It's cool stuff. All right.
It means a lot.
Thank you.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Yep. Bye.
I like those interviews.
How long
fun.
do you live on that? How long is he going to be just high on it?
Well, I used to have a saying, it was over with when you got up the next day, so sometimes we didn't go to bed. But with that said, and this is a tour, I think it's going to last all year. I mean, every time he thinks about it, he's going to say, we had a great tour this year. So, and they did. So,
Well, I mean, forever he'll be a tour champion
yeah.
Did Dakota Trackside follow you guys?
everywhere but Estevan.
Because the tires, the amount of tires you're going through.
But the benefit. So we're going to get on Underwood and Jordan's page here. All the racetracks had a good, decent amount of moisture in them. So tire wear, I'm sure tires were used, but I don't think tire wear was as used if it were drier racetracks.
The Dakota Classic mod
Right.
tour.
Right.
Great subject, great point, because this deal here, like you say, and Levi even elaborated a little bit on how the schedule of the night went. But, yeah, tire wear was well, we talk about that in boardrooms. We don't want guys going through $600 worth of tires a night. It doesn't make sense.
Well,
So,
Levi mentioned that not a lot broke. That just baffles me. He mentioned his maintenance program.
yeah.
That you can just pound on a car, 6 nights in a row, 5 nights in a row, and they just hold up.
Yeah, well, bolt check is, of course, important in everybody's deal. I was doing the math. You were reflecting on him starting at 14, he's 27. So for 13 years, he'd been learning that the coil wires can fall off or go bad. I'm not quite sure how that one failed on him. But, and we're always learning that ball joints have got a fatigue factor in them type of deals. So, and they're in the automotive repair business anyway, so they've got a good feel for what that stuff is. You're right, Craig. I mean, they just were able to keep their cars in tip-top shape, and that all adds up to something at the end of 5 days.
How often do you change oil amongst those 5 days?
I would say most people start out with a fresh one. Might have changed it around the Williston, Estevan area.
3 to 4 nights is our rule.
Yeah, 3 to 4 nights. And now, I would preach that to people that are involved with me, but I would be guilty of not changing it till it's over on myself, because that's just who I am and where I'm at. But
and we got behind as well on Max's. He threw we kind of had our oil changes planned out. How we do it is we kind of plan them out. Okay, you're going to race these 3 nights, and then you'll only have a single night or whatever, 2 nights, and then we'll have another 2-night weekend. So we pushed the 3 to 4 nights, but Max threw in an Underwood. Kind of we didn't have on the schedule. He threw that Underwood in, and then he raced Estevan. So we got up to that 5-night range. Not the end of the world. It's just
I'm more concerned that they are full of oil than they are exactly
Right.
3-night-old oil, no more than. So sometimes motor starts in consumption. We're at the point in the season where dust contamination's getting into some air filtration systems. We're all monitoring that amongst our groups, if you will, and we're seeing some spots that could maybe use a different idea or a different technique. That's been a bunch of our conversation in our own groups right now. So, yeah. Keeping the dirt out of the motor.
I got a picture from a racing mom. I'm going to put it up on the screen here, complimenting us, the tour, on the color choice of our trophies because it matches her decor. This is from Tanya Turnbull, Eli's mom.
No.
His trophies and checks and big feature winner plaques
Heck
are all
yeah.
hung up and match the decor, and
They made the room for it.
they made the room.
I think they're going to have to add on to the house for all of the swag that they're going to get over the years.
Yeah. Yeah. I see the walls running out already. We're
How
gonna start
old is-
covering up cupboards.
How old is Eli?
You like 11, 12?
Better check my race pass. Better check. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Eli picking up 3 wins on the Tougher Than Dirt Tour in the Slingshots. First year of the Slingshots, which I think worked out very, very well.
Yep. Nice addition.
I show on here he's 12.
12. Okay. Yep. So he actually got all of this year and all of next year left in him yet, too.
Yep.
Depending on when his birthday is. So he'll be good. Yes.
So I was talking to Bo and Gabe about the 21 dilemma that they're dealing with in the sport mods. Mac, Taylor, and Gabe, 21. There's a lot of 21s.
Yeah.
And he said, well, if we move up to A mods, is that going to be a problem? Yeah. Aaron.
Right. It's established. Well, you'll think of something, but yeah. Yeah, there is some multiple same numbers in some different divisions for sure. So the 51's a popular number in stock cars, so
Oh,
as we found out.
crazy
There's 4 of them in
popular.
one heat. So, yeah, great picture, Tanya. Thank you. Good on Eli, huh?
Yeah, great. Well, we're going to get in Tougher Than Dirt Tour. Should we roll our second champion? He just texted me back finally. Obviously, Levi
woke him up.
Levi woke him up or motivated him.
So he's going to be fresh.
What day is it? Well, it's nighttime, and it's the 11th.
But he's up in Estevan, so do they go behind us an hour or are they ahead of
It
us?
is actually 8:05 there.
Yeah.
Oh, so-
that means it's 9:05 here, right?
Yep.
It's still daylight outside because I see
We're-
Craig looking at his curtain. I'm looking at mine. So
We're going to have a tough time fitting this underneath my 10 o'clock bedtime.
That's funny.
We'll see if we get an answer out of him. He probably will see the number and give us the FU button.
Oh,
Diesel, Brandon Beater, Jordan Boyce, Craig Heupel, Dirt Weekly here. How you doing tonight?
not too bad. Yourself?
We're doing good. We just had a half-hour conversation with Levi Runge, the Sport Mod champion. We wanted to get you on the horn as well.
Yeah.
Did we wake you up?
No. Levi texted me there. Wasn't even looking at my phone.
Yeah, he said you might be taking a nap. He kind of threw you under the bus on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he did there. No, I wasn't taking a nap there.
What are friends for, right? Yeah. Same ones I got.
So you came into the Tougher Than Dirt Tour. You've been running Minot full-time, Nodak, and you've been running Estevan full-time. You finished third on the Sunday before the Tougher Than Dirt Tour to Morgan Olmsted, Caden Appelt. Did you feel like leaving there on Sunday you were ready to go for the tour?
Yeah, I was ready to go since last year. I wanted redemption because the drop a night thing there, and I was waiting for it the whole year.
Did the drop a night get the best of you last year? Did it not turn out right, or
It did.
it did? Okay.
It got
okay.
him.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great idea until it don't quite work right. Most people have a bad night, so it all makes sense. But if you don't, then it don't make sense. But again, trying to keep as many people interested in it as possible. So, well, with that said, great redemption on you.
Yeah, especially if a guy gets DNF'd ever night one, right? So that's what's the good thing about the drop a night.
Yeah, you're as good in the game as anybody after
Diesel,
one bad night.
We were talking about top fives, and your name is always right up there in the top five. What was your confidence like right now? Are you feeling really confident?
I feel more confident than before, that's for sure, after Botno.
Botno, you checked out. Yeah, there was no doubt. You put a stamp on that, and I think Brandon mentioned it, the Estevan race where you got the win, maybe by default, and you wanted to put a statement on it, and you certainly did that.
Yeah, 24 hours later, he did it. Mm-hmm.
Yep, yeah, I wanted a victory lane interview for sure after that.
And so do you think in Estevan, when you get third and the top two guys have got an issue, and then you're like, well, of course, I had to beat him otherwise, right?
Well, I guess, but, I need all my shocks are shot on my car right now, actually, but that's why I think I'd beat him anyway with my new shocks, but who knows?
Well, sometimes those little wore-out shocks that keeps the car floating around pretty good, so it's always going to the corner that wants help.
That's for sure. It bounces, that's for sure.
Real rodeo ride.
Exactly.
Diesel, we talked quite a bit about how what makes racing so wonderful is the families and the relationships. I still am mesmerized by your family tree. I don't understand it. You got more branches on your family tree than any of us.
Yeah. Well, it all started with my dad racing, and I've always been watching him, and my brother then, and my uncle RJ there, he actually ran the sprint car for I don't know how many years, but yeah, it's always really been around in our family, and then sort of all of their nieces and nephews took notice, and decided they want to hop in one pretty much.
Is there any other tracks near Estevan that you go to other than in the States?
Not really, no. Just like you said, Minot really in Williston.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, IMCA up in Canada, actually, being with Ben Dethridge all week, I got a history lesson. There is something called IMCA Canada. Did you know that? Up there is something IMCA Canada?
Yeah, I think I was looking at maybe going to a track actually in Alberta. I forget what it's called. But we have family up in Alberta, and then we usually go visit them once a year. So I figured I might as well bring my car, see if there's a race.
Yeah, it's if somebody out there is watching or listening, it's worth a Google. Look up IMCA Canada, because technically there is such a thing. But Estevan Motor Speedway actually falls under IMCA U.S. and they're part of North Dakota in the state points deal. But I was very interested to learn that there was an IMCA Canada, and I guess I never even thought that it'd be close enough for you guys to go race at one. I don't even know what divisions they have. I don't have a clue. It's just something that the old historian Ben Dethridge. How about that guy coming up with the stuff he does announcing, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they run hobby stocks there, but I'm not. It's got to be a little bit different.
Yeah, it very well could be. So
shouldn't be too different.
I'm going to have to do way more research on it. It was just something you're cruising from track to track, and it's a topic of conversation. So Thunder Mountain Speedway, you actually wait. We got to go back. Your beanbag toss at the McLean County Speedway.
You're bringing up beanbag.
Well, it was not your beanbag tossing was not as stellar as your on-track racing. Let's put it that way.
No, that's for sure.
Do you need me to to bring and borrow you a set of boards and some bags so you can practice in the off season for next year?
I have my own now.
You understood the problem, huh?
Yep. Right after Underwood, that's when I called my grandma and asked her if she could pick me up a cornhole set.
That's awesome.
Do you think it helped you as the week went on or not?
I think I got better. Well, I got pole and Estevan and at least second row in Botano.
Oh yeah.
At least not last. It's not terrible.
That is an improvement.
I said it on the call of the race, and Craig's already brought it up, but your determination up at the Thunder Mountain Speedway on Saturday night was obvious. In a clean, good racing way. You set out for the front, and you weren't going to let anybody beat you, because you wanted to make a statement from the previous night saying, I don't only win by default, I want to win outright in front of everybody.
Yeah. Well, just the extra money on the line, and that's what I've wanted since last year. It was Tougher Than Dirt Tour when I wanted an interview, like hopping out of the car, and I just didn't get that. And that's the end. So
yeah,
extra money on the line, and Levi won the race before me. I figured I better try and get it done.
Diesel, I'm concerned with all this American money that went up to Canada. That's not good for our economy. Where do you spend that money? What do you do with that American money?
I just have an American account for a race in there. It's usually empty. Racing account.
Race car account usually empty. Oh, Craig's digging into
it. What's funny about that is because I still got my Dakota Mod Tour money for Estevan from last year, and I'm going to spend that up there this year. So I'm wondering if it's just...
You got $30, you're ready to go.
I'm ready to
go. Yeah, race car account's an empty. Yeah, that's a problem.
Well, I thank you for supporting the whole tour. Thank you for taking our phone call tonight. We appreciate having you on. We sure enjoy your company. I know that drop a night rule got you last year, but you pretty much didn't give anybody else a chance this year, because whether it was drop a night or not drop a night, you were still the points leader.
Either way, huh?
Either way.
Covered all bases. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
good.
Thanks for having me on, and thanks for having the tour. It's good that hobby stocks and sport mods actually have a tour to go on. So
Diesel, I got an idea that I got to run by you guys and maybe throw this at Brandon in honor of your fellow countryman, Ed Turnbull. Ed, probably king of the back of the pack challenge. What do you think about that? Throwing that option out there.
Yeah, on the tour?
Yeah.
Well, I had big plans on the tour going into it. I brought dice, and the slingshot drivers used the dice, and I wanted to do the darn dice roll that I brought out last year on the Monty Lundy deal with the modifieds. I wanted to do it for hobbies and sport mods, to where there was an extra. Basically, you roll a 2 through a 12, and it's 200 if you start second and 1,200 if you start 12th, and you can do the math in between, to where the driver split it and one fan split it if they were to win from them positions, because I thought that would be fun all week to do. I just ran out of time. I just ran out of it's going to be involved at some point in time, because I want to throw some extra money at these drivers to get some of that movement from back to front.
What amount of money would it take, Diesel, for you to start in the back? Say if your starting position was second row outside, and they said, we're going to give you another 500 if you bring it from the back to the win. Would that be enough to get you to say, I'm going back there?
Depends what kind of track it is, honestly. If it's a hammer down, I'm saying no.
If it's got a little finesse, you might say yes, huh?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, we're going to, I don't know if you heard yet, but we're going to do a trophy presentation up there in Estevan on the 21st with all three of you champions together. So you'll get your championship trophy and your points fund money. I tried to get you before you left Minot on Sunday, but I'll be bringing it up on the 21st for you. So how cool is that going to be with all three of you up there?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I guess, yeah, like all three of us and Grace and Estevan.
Yes.
And, well, even Ty, he got runner-up, and Gunner, I think, he got runner-up in Slingshot.
Oh.
Yeah, it was kind of a Canadian domination all week. I got a text from a concerned race fan that said tour was great, but next year no Canadians. And I don't think that rule will ever go through, just to let you know.
Yeah. You know you're doing it right when you hear that.
Oh, it's all right. It's always fun coming down to the States and racing, you guys.
Yeah. Well, I sure enjoy watching you race, and I just love your family participation with you. Like you say, we got some previous drivers in the family. You come down in number count, and everybody's excited for racing in your family. It's just great to see. So good job on your tour, and best of luck on the rest of the year. Again, and always enjoy watching you race.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yep.
Yeah, best of luck this weekend. You'll be at Nodak on Sunday, I'm guessing. I guess I can give you your money there, but the trophy's staying till Estevan. So.
Yeah, I'll be just trying to decide if we're going to make it to Underwood for Friday, Saturday.
Ah. We'd sure like to see ya. That'd be good.
Yeah, I know. I just finished 5 races in a row, and then I have to do another 3 in a row. I'm just not sure yet.
We got all winter to rest.
Yeah.
Well, again, congrats on the 2025 Tougher Than Dirt Tour champion for the hobby stocks, and we'll see you this weekend, and best of luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right.
Jordan, you're right. Why does it have to just all be jammed into June? I mean,
Oh, man.
couldn't we have something in November when nothing's going on?
Well, that's our dome. And then dome kind of faded off here for the moment. So, yeah. Well, and even Adam and I or whatever, just in small talk in April, it's like, dude, do you realize how heavy the schedule is in May and June? It's like, yeah, there'll be some weather. Yeah, well, there ain't been much. So it's a grind. Plus it's springtime for your daytime job, and that all matters too. So, yeah, we have plenty of racing in our little neck of the woods.
Yeah.
So,
suppose we better get ready for the next part of this, huh? The Tougher Than Dirt Tour part.
The official part?
Yeah. We got it started last Tuesday, a week and a day ago.
8 days ago. Yeah.
At the McLean County Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
Trophy class. You guys ran the trophy class, put them out there first. Sierra Davenport picking up the win. Had a stock car against
some enduro cars.
Yep.
David Falkenstein and Russ John both. David was all over. I mean, it actually ended up being a pretty good race. Sierra was able to showcase kind of mimicked her run of the opening night. Backed it up with a Trophy Dash Trophy Dash car win there, and she looked solid. She's trying to get as much seat time as she can, and she was enjoying herself there.
Legendary Tour, the INEX Legends started their Legendary Tour off at the McLean County Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
A whole bunch of legends there. 10, 20, 31, 42 legends. 4 heat races, 2 B mains. Gage Madler, the Noah's brother, or the other Madler brother, picked up the win on opening night. They had some guys from Pennsylvania and New York.
I seen a New Jersey name.
A New Jersey.
The 24 car was out of New Jersey, I saw. Again, wow. Like you say, just to make the field is an accomplishment. 42 car count. I mean, that's Dakota modified classic stuff there. So, yeah. Again, the legend cars it's almost hard to grasp what they are, because There's a lot of them. The cut is tough. Making the field is tough.
They're all serious. That's one thing I love about McLean County is you can kind of get a glimpse into their world in their haulers and what they're doing. And it's, for example, Donovan Weiss, I think he's got 2 cars. He's got more tires than I've ever seen. And it's not, I mean, I know the vision is you can buy one and go race it tonight, but you're going to get handed some humble pie quick if you just, these guys are real.
Yeah. The determination and dedication is just next level stuff. And that's how you divide yourself from the rest of the field. It's just the small little things that add up on maintenance nights and chassis setup nights, and just making sure you got everything ready, spares and stuff.
Swallers is in one of them hot rods.
Did Mike hop in?
Yeah,
one?
Mike jumped in Casey Fugman's.
Okay.
Just for the
I
one
didn't
night.
catch that.
Just for the one night. Junior Slingshots, Landon Holgren was the inaugural feature winner on the Tough in the Dirt Tour for the Junior Slingshots. As we said, first time these drivers
been on this tour,
and they were on it from night 1 to night 6.
He's been a solid performer in Mandan this spring already, so it was neat to be able to see him come together with some of the cars from the north.
Yep, Eli Turnbull second, Gunnar Raynard, Ellie Ruby a top 5.
Shout out to our girl Niner. Niner is on the gas. She don't lift. She was a little chatter tight there, and Jason was working on something. As we discussed, how do you tune on these things? And we weren't sure, but whatever he's done, it paid off throughout the week.
Yes,
we'll get there when we get to Botno, but yeah.
Gabriel Deshaw picked up the Sport Mod win. Had that one pretty much in hand the whole thing. Cole Hanshoe though, +8 up to second. He was on the move.
Yeah. Ben Fast was getting her done, so
Chad Stretchin, Robbie Roselli, and Stan Tomlinson top 5.
Yeah, Chad Stretchin, he's just living in the top 3.
Yeah.
Pace Herrera 6th, Taylor Stenvold, Keenan Glosser, Justin Fichter, and Levi Runge 10th. You maybe came out of that night thinking Gabe's pretty much got this one in the bag. He's going to have Chad Stretchin, Robbie. There's going to be some other players, but nowhere were we thinking Levi Runge at this time.
Yeah.
That night, Gabe was perfect. I mean, he just looked perfect. The car was strong. It looked unbeatable.
IMCA Hobby Stocks Cash Saxon picks up the feature win. Ripped the top, kind of went where they weren't. Caden Tuchscher led a whole bunch of them laps.
Again, Caden back in the talk here again, being Tuchscher this time. But, I thought we seen an awakening in Caden the previous weekend going into this. He's backed it up during this week. I think he got nothing but strength going ahead from here to Dirt Wars for sure.
Diesel Raynard makes it a Canadian top 3, as we just talked to him. Kyler Satcher and Trevor Haas.
Trevor's starting to flirt.
Haas car's moving around.
The original plan with the old Haas car, the high-side Haas, is he was only running championship night, and then it turned into running opening night, and he had such a good run. We'll talk about it as we go.
His engine owner got soft.
Yeah, Tyson Grinstead, Chris Rangeloff, Alex Twite, Jason Ruby was there, and Ty Saxon, your top 10. Excellent opening night, as it usually is, at the McLean County Speedway.
We're excited to have that first night. I mean, I think it's a little bit centrally located for everybody, and really kind of get to see where you're at on a Tuesday. So,
night number 2, we went down to the Southwest Speedway, and that driver we talked about we're going to start with the iNext Legends. Glen Gardner, New Jersey, Tanner Jones, the 24J, picked up the feature win.
Yeah, I could tell he was plenty strong in Underwood. So
his car just had a different attitude to it. Like it seemed like there was more suspension. He was running it more sideways than the other guys.
That's what I saw too. Almost a wider entry in, carried a more momentous mid corner off, where everybody else tucks down and does the hot sauce 180.
Yep.
And that works too. But he'd come in a lane higher and kind of skated around and maybe carried just a little bit more MPH.
Junior Slingshots, Eli Turnbull picks up his first win of the week, first of what would be 3. Looked stellar, went +2. Caden Davenport in the 29, a strong runner out of Bismarck, got second. Then Gunnar Raynard, Landon Holgren, Easton Olson, the top 5. Eli kind of setting the tone right there. He had his dad with him the whole week. I don't know if I seen Tanya with early in the week, but I know it was Eli and Aaron to begin the week.
Yeah, I know it was the two of them when we were doing hot laps there in Underwood. And when Aaron's not in a car and he's your crew chief,
look out.
Yeah, a lot of magic happening there. So, yes, great father-son time.
IMCA Sport Mods, well, we talked to him. Levi Runch did the bag redraw, picked up the feature win. But again, going +6, the second place runner, Cole Hanshew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although that night, I don't know if it was just the graphics, but the car looked kind of beat up that night.
Yeah, I don't know.
Snapchat said he had stuff laid out all over the front of the trailer. So, yeah, Cole was up to Cole things. So, yeah.
Taylor Stenvold +7 to finish third. He had a good run. Justin Fichter, Ryder Raynard, your top 5. And then Keenan Glosser, Darren Schatz, Quentin Schertle, and Paul Warner, the top 10. Kind of a lot of DNFs. It was a lot of stop and go in that one. You know, both first nights. Last year, so in 2024, we had kind of an Underwood, stop and go in the sport mods and the hobbies, and I had to have a chat at the pit meeting the next night saying, last night's behind us, we're moving forward. Whatever happened, everybody just needs to get it out of their system. We're going to go forward. This year kind of hung over into night 2. I said that at the pit meeting saying, hey, we got to go forward. Don't worry about what's behind us. Put all your whatever, bygones be bygones. Put it all behind you. Let's move forward. And we kind of had the same thing going on in Dickinson, some stop-and-go racing. What I mean is cautions.
Yeah. Just couldn't get it going.
Just couldn't get races going.
So from your perspective, you're announcing this year where you were the race director last year?
Yeah.
That had to be a lot more enjoyable.
Yep. But it's also hard giving up control. Just think about when you're in full control of something and then give that up and do another job that you watch somebody else can control.
Yeah.
Jake did a great job all week. Jake Nelson, being the race director, did a great job all week.
His first time, so
it's not even his first time. His first time doing it. His first time being race director was in Underwood, and he did an excellent job all week long. He kept the shows going. He did everything he was supposed to do.
He took it seriously and emotionally.
However, you're rejuvenated by giving some delegation up to do different duties. You can't continue if you're trying to control everything, and so you're growing and you're
correct. IMCA Hobby Stocks, Taylor Heaton came out with a strong Southwest Speedway car.
He impresses me.
Yeah, he's a player. He's strong. He's a feature winner, and he's paying attention. So,
and he's got fire inside too.
I've seen him drive an extremely tight car competitively. I'm in full lock left and still staying in the race. That's tough to do.
He's blossoming. Expect big things.
Morgan Olmstead comes home second. Caden Tuchscher, Diesel Rayner, Ty Saxon, your top 5. Kyler Satrin, Sage Borrud makes it onto our list. He was having some good runs on this tour. Tyson Grinstead, Cash Saxon, and Alex Twite.
Touching on my fantasy driver Tyson, staying out of trouble, getting some good seat time in. That all matters too.
Shout out to Brad and the gang down there. We had some weather that rolled through a few hours before the race time. There was absolutely zero talk of canceling. Not that we needed to or should, but we're all there. We all know what the dirt's like down at the Southwest Speedway. It's a different moon dirt.
Moon dirt, yeah.
Call it moon dirt. It takes water in a different way than any other racetrack we go to. Shout out to all the drivers, because Jake went around the pits and they made the decision that every driver needed to be out on the racetrack, including legends, and every driver made their way out to the racetrack to pack that in before the races.
Part of the solution, not the problem.
Yep.
I like it.
So shout out to everybody involved. Ben Dethridge came up with some brilliant ideas as we were sitting there kind of waiting for the races to start. For those that don't know, 8 6 or 8 inches plus rain down in the Dickinson area. The whole infield was a lake. The whole infield was all water.
You can see on your camera, I mean, it was a lake.
Lake Southwest.
The go-kart track was underwater.
Yeah.
All of it.
Lake Southwest was in the middle. He wanted to put some kayaks down there for some, what did he call it? He didn't call it kayaks. He called it something else. Some paddle boats or something, and have paddle boat races to set the lineup for the features. Jokingly, I don't know if it was jokingly, because I was willing to put my money up. Brad Hardigan said $500 to any driver that can make it to victory lane. Not win the race. You had to get your car through the lake up on victory lane, and I said I'd match it. So it was up to $1,000.
Yeah.
Nobody took us up on it because
That's how safe you were. It had to be 1.5 feet deep.
Oh, it was all of this deep.
It looked terrible. And I've been there plenty of times. I've never seen it that wet. That was
They
wet.
got a bunch of rain down there, but Brad did a great job getting the racetrack in tip-top shape, and it was. In the words of Travis Hagen, when I talked to him the next day, he goes, "Boy, when you see that Southwest Speedway dirt as dark as it was, you know it's going to be fast."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, being able to work with Brad at the Watford City stuff and all that, he was out, hand picking stuff up and all that. They took a lot of pride in the surface, and that all matters. When you put a bunch in, you get something out. Yep. Good on Brad.
Yeah, so shout out to
gang.
that gang down there to get it going. I know a Facebook post went out today. Sounds like they have some potential people interested in taking it over. Brad, this is Brad's last year. He's made it clear to everybody.
Yeah, he shared that with us at Watford City and stuff like that. So yeah, I was excited to see that he had a couple potentials. Don't ever want to lose a racetrack, so hope somebody can make it happen.
So we roll into the Williston Basin Speedway for night number 3. The first 2 nights were basically tour classes. We had Inex Legends, Hobby Stock, Sport Mod, Slingshots, Underwood. You guys added the trophy class in there, but mainly tour classes the first 2 nights. And now we go to the Williston Basin Speedway. We get to throw in some stock cars and some modifieds.
Yep.
And in the stock cars, the wily old veteran Troy Heupel picked up the feature win.
Yeah.
In a car that he said in his Victory Lane interview was pretty much done racing. And Dion Iverson offered them this car a few years ago, and now he's since purchased it from Dion, so he's driving it, racing it. But look at that Dion guy keeping a guy involved in racing.
I was going to say, he must have a fleet of cars.
No, I don't think he has a fleet. He just has
a fleet of drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Dion's been good to the sport, so.
The kind of the fun that we had on that night was our race director, Jake Nelson, asked if he could race his stock car that night because he has sponsors. And we said, yeah, that'll be fine because Jeff Barta can do his normal job of race directing and flagging during the stock car and the mod heats, and then Jake can go do the rest of the classes. Mm-hmm. Well, the old Jakester started pulling the feature and spun out in front of the field. So we got to give him grief all week about that.
Well, he earned it. Come on, Jake.
Right. Ethan knew. Hopping from the hobby into your big world. Mm-hmm. And then running with the group. That's...
Yep. Ethan's made the move. Brenner's made the move, and they're both getting around plenty good. So
went +6.
Yep.
Hagen and Heupel put on a really good show out front between the two of them. You yourself... radiator problems getting to the track.
In the truck, yeah.
In the truck.
And I always say my trouble's contagious, so it, for some reason, jumped to the race car. It appears that I had a blade come off the fan, must have knocked it out of balance, shook the water pump off. Of course, it got into the radiator and everything else, so still in the middle of fixing that. But, what looked like an engine expiration was not, but the repair is almost as involved. It got a chunk of the block with it when it popped off the water pump there, so nothing a little AB epoxy ain't fixing.
And right. and the job that you did with the JB weld on the radiator to get it home in the truck.
Well, that was the plan to get it home, but in normal racer fashion, it's still in there. It's going to Underwood because it went to Estevan the next day, so heck, it ain't down on water. Well, I'm not so sure it ain't fixed. But yeah, it looked like a 3-year-old made a mud pie in the sand with JB weld. I use more JB Weld on that radiator than I have my whole life, and it's kind of a regular tool for me. So, there's a lot of JB Weld. Yeah, had Spicy Dave riding home with me, so I had company. He was nervous all the way because, well, he's mechanic by day, and we'd be in trouble if we didn't have any water at 2 in the morning going home. But we made it home, and it made it to Estevan, and, well, Underwood ain't far away. Yeah, so working on it. I have a spare radiator, just haven't got it in yet. So,
in the modifieds, the coolest thing happened. Jetler Flory Memorial, or in memory of Jetler Flory, is the modified sponsor, the class sponsor over there, and Jetler's Grandpa John picks up the feature win, which is pretty badass.
Yeah, it's beyond words. I mean, it was so cool.
Yeah,
it was so cool. So, they needed that. Racing needed that. So,
John was fast.
Awesome. Yeah.
The only thing about John is his victory lane speeches are just too long.
Kind of like his Hall of Fame deal. Pretty short, huh? Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna grind him for that, but nonetheless, his performance was timely. It was time. So good for him.
Absolutely.
Good for the family.
Junior slingshots, Eli Turnbull.
Yeah.
2 wins in a row.
Been working his way up there. I ain't been out of the top 3 yet, so.
Colby Fichter, Weston, your anchor. Sophie Schertle, Gunnar Raynard, your top 5.
You were giving Zach Eubanks grief about the bounty. Maybe Eli Turnbull's getting a bounty.
He ain't to 6 yet.
Yeah, he's starting to flirt. Yep.
He's not to 6 yet. So fun to see them kids progress. I made the comment on one of the calls that you can see the ones that have been to every night because they're listening so much better on the receiver. The kids listened all week really well, but just as Ben and I would say, these kids are not only racing, they're racing for trophies. They're learning the etiquette of racing, the how to line up, the restart zone, the simple things, how to, a yellow on the receiver, slow down. They're learning that about racing. That's only going to help them later in life.
Incredible opportunity. I mean, again, we talked about the guys that have moved up, and this class that you're talking about right now. I mean, wow, we're going to blink in 10 years. They're going to be the A-Mod specials. So you touched on that at the top of the show. It's coming.
Sport mods, Gabriel Deshaw, 2 in a row to kick off the tour. Or not 2 in a row, 2 out of the first 3 to kick off the tour. DNF at the Southwest Speedway.
I jokingly asked Gabe, I said, you going on the tougher than dirt? He looks at me like I was joking, and of course I was. He goes, I can't wait to go. I want that bad. So he's showing it right there.
Yeah, so. He was the 2-time and defending champion going into the tour.
Yeah.
Gabe, Levi, Chad. I mean, it's just...
Yeah.
And then Robbie and Keenan. And
Chaddy's in there again, so...
Darren Schatz was 6th, and then Taylor Stenvold, Quentin Schertle, Ed Conlon, and Stan Tomlinson, your top 10. Funny story that I heard about Stan Tomlinson. He was telling me he put in for the week off at work, but he never got the notification back that he was off.
That
it was okay to take the week off. So he just assumed they needed to show up to work. And
I think that's appropriate, right?
What?
You just submit it and just say, I'm good. I asked for my time off. I'm going.
Well, you're usually the guy that has to approve it, so it's interesting to hear that.
Waiting for the phone to ring because your deli manager didn't show up or something.
I guarantee you most of them feel that way. I'm going.
I think it was the produce stalker, wasn't
it? Yeah. So he ended up missing Dickinson, and he could have been there the whole time.
Oh, shoot. No.
But he joined us again in Williston. So, Hobby Stocks, Ty Saxon. Couldn't be outdone by his brother. Picks up the feature win.
See, that's another name that's getting to be more familiar with me, the Saxons.
Taylor Heaton shows up 2nd. Sage Borrud led part of the race, was up front for a more good part of the race.
I think Taylor had to go to the back.
He had a flat tire.
And brought her to the front.
Came back up to the front.
That is right. Yeah.
So he's like Trevor. Well, no, not like Trevor, because Taylor passed Tech. So
on track was similar.
Diesel Rainer, top 4. This is the theme. Diesel just consistency to this point. Cash Saxon a fifth. Then Trevor Haas with the text message at 5:15 saying, "I'm just leaving Minot." He shows up with a sixth-place finish. Kyler Satrin, Ethan Beckett-all, Beth Ann Gowdy, and Tyson Grinstead, your top 10.
I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but it's appropriate. I think Kyler Satrin you started talking about in Botno. Because if you look at Kyler all throughout the tour, not bad results, but not really Kyler results.
Yep.
And so they made that move in Botno, and I'll let you get there, but just wanting a little bit more.
I'm not afraid to talk about it. Some controversy at the Williston Basin Speedway. We missed one. We're human. We missed one. Ty Saxon caused an early yellow. Nobody even grasped what happened. We didn't write it down. We didn't do. It's a human deal. Later on in the race, caused a second yellow. We did not put him to the pits because nobody caught it.
Yeah, it was about a half hour between them.
Yeah,
I mean, there
it
was just a lot of commotion between it.
A lot happened in between the two yellows, and there was some confusion on whether it was the 41, the 99 that caused the first one, and well, we let them race, and we got to the end, and then shortly after the races, people let us know that we let them get by with two yellows. But it's a human deal. It's not. Nothing was done on purpose. Unfortunately, we're all there.
I heard the buzz, and of course I was back at the trailer already. I had to think about that for a while. I'm like, I guess and like I say, there's two of them, so you got to keep them separated. So I'm like, yeah, about the first yellow, but it just kind of got slobber knockered, if you will, and it was just hard to remember.
But whether
2 or 3.
I mean, he got his interview. He went to Tech. He passed Tech. Half hour after the races, 20 minutes to half hour. That ain't something that I'm going to take a win away over a mistake by the officials. So we let it stand. I know some people weren't happy with us letting it stand. I feel done the same way with any other driver, we would have the same answer. We have to stick by
if you miss it at speed, you missed it.
Yeah, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's not fair now. So,
so we owned up to it. It's our fault. It's there's 5 people that missed it, and all 5 of us missed it.
Yeah.
So there's no one
Can't ask
person
for more than 5 to watch. So
yeah, no one person to blame on that. I know Jen took it pretty hard, but it's not her fault. No. It's all of us.
Yeah.
We all had an opportunity to call it, and none of us did. So
it's news to me. I missed that too. I'm learning this for the first time right now.
I watched the whole race and I missed it until, like I say, back at the trailer and started hearing the buzz. Again, as a driver, I'm going to go on record. I'm going to speak for all of us. We get away with lots, and we get caught very little, and I'll leave it at that.
Right.
So everybody's had a better day than they earned on some level, and even when you think you got robbed in a call, you could probably say you had it coming somewhere else. You just got it at the wrong time. So everybody involved is trying to do their best. You're making at-speed calls, and that's how it goes. We'll live to race another day.
Yep. So we get up the next morning, and we head up to the Estevan Motor Speedway. One of my favorite nights. Well, that's all of them are my favorite night, but favorite racetracks to go to. Such a beautiful setting up there. You got the nice background. And
Brandon, that is so true.
What
you just said, because I think I was at McLean County. I'm thinking, this is my favorite track. Then I go to Botton. I'm like, this is my favorite track.
No matter what racetrack you're at, it's your favorite track.
Yeah. All the tracks take it seriously. It's awesome.
Modified stock cars joining us again at the Estevan Motor Speedway. Jordan's JB welded radiator makes it all the way to Minot, all the way back to Estevan.
Yeah, I don't even look anymore. It's good. Yeah, put her right in spot 1.
Jordan's opening a radiator shop tonight.
Oh, my God. Oh.
Caden Jortland, rookie, picks up the stock car win.
Looked solid doing it. Solid.
Had to battle through a couple restarts with guys right on him, and he was still able to pull away and pick up the win.
Yeah. Much like Reese Dignan's deal in its own way. New to the class. I mean, Reese was struggling with some engine stuff, but Jortland comes out there, third night into the racing stock cars, and boom, lands a W. That's inspiration there.
Yep.
So, good job.
Cody Shope picks up the modified win, dueled it out with Stephen Pfeiffer and Aaron Turnbull again, and came out on top.
Just inches away, it puts inches on them every lap, and pretty soon it's a lot, and it's hard to believe because Aaron and Stephen are not off their game. Cody's just doing Cody things. I don't know how else to say it. As I tell him, your front tires look like they're all cross-eyed and all that coming at me into the grandstand, but you just keep inching away.
And I think
usually on the track that ain't there.
Everyone loves the top three. We all do, and we know that they're elite. Fourth place, Marcus
Tomlinson.
I'm telling you.
There may have only been 8 cars there in the modifieds, down on car count.
What was the message there?
I don't know.
Not their regular night, Friday, not Saturday.
I don't know what the message was, but out of 8 cars, I mean, obviously the top 4 pretty much set themselves apart, maybe, but there was some good cars all the way throughout. Slingshots, night number 4 for the Slingshots in a row, and Brogan Wagner kind of shows up as a spoiler, picks up the feature win.
Yeah. It again, I touched on Hudson Mann having just a runaway heat race there. I couldn't believe how much momentum Hudson could carry there. I think he ended up with something mechanical in the feature, but
lost a chain.
He lost chain in the feature. Okay, I know I talked to him about that previously in the week there, actually in Williston, and I know that Steven had shared that with Sladen's car there, that chains were a problem. So I think they're trying to make it so there's no master link anymore. But
you know what I'd do? I'd JB weld that.
I can mix it up for you. It's all in the mixing, I think. But but no, Brogan again, great performer last year. The dogs were on him, but he did what he had to do there. I mean, he got it done, and he's half green, so you know how I am. I always default to the green one. So
Eli Turnbull second, Gunnar Rayner, Dane Schertle, Colby Fichter the top 5, Tatum Singleton, Ellie Ruby 7th, Jace Schertle, Hallie Turnbull, and Jager Malin.
Jager's got the green going on. I'm all in.
Sport Mods, another Gabe DeShaw in victory lane.
Yeah.
This would
Gabe
be win
knows
number
the track
3.
well, so
he ties Eric Laudenschlager, I believe, with this win at the Estevan Motor Speedway as the most Sport Mod wins on the tour.
And what number is that?
Yeah, I knew you were going to ask me that.
That's okay. Is it double digits?
Oh, no.
No.
Do you got a spreadsheet that shows these finishes? Because I'm telling you, I think Chad Strachan got third every night.
I do have a spreadsheet that does show them, yes. I pulled all that out at the end of the tour. I have not updated the spreadsheet
Chatty
yet.
was Mr. Bronze?
Gabe, Levi, Chad. It's just that combination just seems to be popping up.
So Eric Laudenschlager 9, and then Gabe DeShaw tied him with 9 that night. Gabe went into the year with 6, tied him.
Okay.
Tied him after the 3 wins with 9 apiece. So 9-9. Eric is 9, Gabe is 9, then Luke Krogh has 5. Then Rocky Cottle, Chase Elves, Brock Beater, Darren Medler all have 3. So just a...
Yeah. I remember all the Rocky Cottles, too, so...
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Now we roll into the hobby stocks. And
this was a race.
This was a race.
This was a fun race. Yes.
This was a race. This was Diesel Raynard got out front, kind of led a majority of it.
He talked about his beanbags were good that night.
Yep,
so.
beanbags were, yep. He led a majority of it, but then the Trevor Haas machine makes his first appearance at the front of the pack, and whatever Trevor was thinking going into turn 3 did not work well coming out of turn 4. He had a major TRD moment and just overshot the entry of 3 and
did a Brody on one of those big truck tires.
Yep. Well, he almost took out Diesel Raynard in the process.
TRD.
But don't. I mean, the guy started 13th, was all the way up side by side for the lead, and he goes into the pits. The funniest part is they're working. Somebody has a car, I think Grinstead. Tyson Grinstead was on the other side of the hot pit. So a lot of people were over there. Trevor's on this side of the hot pit all by himself. Nobody's even looking at him. So he sits there. Finally, they get his attention. They pull the hood off. They check it out, whatever, send him back out there. And then he commences to roll in the bottom again, and he shows up in the lead after a late restart.
He come from the back.
And he led up until about 2 to go, and Morgan Olmsted was getting that top rolling.
Getting that momentum coming around.
Yep.
Caden Appel taught him that. All the way back from Nodak on the previous Sunday.
Well,
the only difference is the racetracks were pretty different. Morgan didn't have any cushion or moisture to lean on. Morgan was just momenting. I think he watched Brandon Beater at the Estevan Motor Speedway winning the 5 car. Because he was using the momentum in the Diamond offline.
Or the Cody Shope line.
Or the Cody Shope line.
5.
Yep. Yeah. So technically on the racetrack and the Victory Lane interview, Morgan Olmsted won. But he didn't pass Tech.
But he had that same car nights previous, so the Tech guys at the various other tracks
here's the big difference. We had different nights 1, 2, and 3. I couldn't piece together the whole tour with the same Tech guys. So nights 1, 2, and 3 was Dave Ravinius, and there's no rip on Dave. Everybody checks things differently. He did not check the ride heights, and in Dave's defense, you have to have flat concrete. You can't check it in dirt.
Yeah. That's not fair. Yeah.
So
and Estevan has a flat chunk of concrete for this reason.
Yes, Estevan has a nice pad that's poured.
For measuring things that
flat
have to be
chunk
measured.
of concrete. And the argument was Williston had a pad as well, which Williston does. But the difference being Williston, a lot of the hobby stocks, they don't go across the scale. They actually bypass the scale because the concrete pad is right next to the scale.
Good point. Hobbies don't have a minimum weight.
They do not.
So they don't weigh.
They wouldn't.
The other classes do.
Hobby stocks wouldn't even go onto this pad or the scale pad, and they pull over to the Tech area, which is off of the pad. To be honest with you, there really wasn't an opportunity to check this before Estevan.
And changing a spring will change your ride height. So that could be going on also.
But both Trevor Haas and
Morgan
Olmsted dock 2 positions. The rule is 2-position dock for not meeting the ride height rule.
But does it give you any competitive advantage where someone's going to want to do this?
Well, I guess I'm going to go on record saying that they put the rule in, and I think some drivers got hurt by it. It's been in for 2 years now. So I would say that it probably did. It was going somewhere. I wasn't caught on to that draft yet, if you would. But there must have been something there because some of the more national known names were crippled by it when the rule came.
Were they too tall?
And what the ride height rule is on both a hobby and a stock car is no lower than 7 inches, no higher than 9 inches. Give you a 2-inch window of legality, and then on top of that, because of maybe some unevenness in the ground, they give a little bit more.
A ½ inch on either side.
Yeah. So you're actually getting a pretty big window now to fit in. So
Trevor's right rear was high. Is that what they?
Trevor said at lunch there that he was an inch high.
Yeah.
So
Morgan Olmsted's right front was low.
Yeah.
Which you kind of want your right front low in the racing game.
Yeah. The stance of the cars, the body cars, kind of mimicking the mod where they're leaned over on that right front. So a lower ride height in the right front is advantageous for that tilt of the car, if you will. Yes. So. Side note, Trevor was parked next to me there, and he wanted to try a different spring, and I was giving him my pitch or whatever. And here I thought I messed him up. I thought he jumped from maybe a 150 to a 300. Well, he jumped from a 275 to a 300. Trevor was in trouble before I started doing any spring talk with him, but nonetheless, he found something that he needed on the internet. He's going the right way now.
So Diesel Raynard picks up the win, kind of by default because he passed Tech. Ty Saxon second, then Morgan Olmsted, Trevor Haas, Brody Singleton, top 5.
So 2 nice nights for Ty Saxon.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The Saxon brothers are fast. They get around.
They have it figured out. Now night number 5. We roll up to the the Thunder Mountain Speedway. A little bit of rain come through in the afternoon. They pushed the start time an hour to accommodate the racetrack, the pits, everything drying out. So got a little bit of a late start, but at the same time, it was worth it in the long run. They had the trophy class up there. Hudson Hooker and his Midwest mod picked up the trophy class win. I'll just touch on that. And then they also had the IMCA Sport Compacts, and can you guess who wins? Anybody?
Start with Z.
And ends with a bank. Bank.
Z-Bank.
Banks.
Z-Bank. Okay.
Chris Yost was in an unfamiliar car. Did you see that night?
I saw that the number was different.
87T. I don't know if he was trying to get it worked out, but it actually showed some pretty good speed in it.
Mm-hmm.
Were the tech guys up in Botno?
Yes.
If Hudson Hooker wanted to roll out with
he would not have been able to. Well, he could have, but
they'd have caught it.
We would have black flagged him because he doesn't look the same.
I think they do. What?
They don't look it at all.
It's a good-looking car. I like it.
It's a good-looking car, but they don't look the same.
What's the difference?
It's a Wissota Midwest mod.
Yeah.
It
The sail panel and the spoiler.
Yeah.
Completely. When you look at the body, the Midwest mod looks like our A mod. Looks like our IMCA modified. I spot the difference. Snap your fingers. I see it out there.
I think they have a quick change in them.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Not that makes you fast.
So if he would go out there, he'd have an advantage.
No. He would not be close to the rules, whether it's an advantage
Tires,
or not.
quick change. I even think they
Aftermarket
get Brins.
tranny. I think they get Brins.
Burts.
I've always heard that the Midwest mod was way closer to our A mod.
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah,
that's what I've heard too.
As far as componentry,
Eli Turnbull with picking up his third feature win of the week
out of 5. 5 days with Aaron. I want to be Eli.
Ellie Ruby coming home second.
Yeah.
3 days out of 5, but going back to that other Underwood night, 4 out of 6 then, right?
No, not the Underwoods only ran once, and they didn't
have
have
with the opener. We didn't have slingshots at the opener, so.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to Estevan, him and Aaron both picked up a win earlier this year. I think opening night.
Yeah. Shout out to Niner, running right with Eli.
Yep.
Keeping the gap in check. Yeah. Jason got her freed up a little bit there, and Ellie says she's not lifting, and she's not lifting. She told me she's not lifting. She's not lifting, so, and she's making the corner, so.
Graydon
cool
Smith,
job.
Cash Aho, Gunnar Raynard, your top 5. Yeah, good showing. Slingshots were so much fun all week. I went into the week not knowing how to redraw them. How do you redraw kids? I was going to come up with some sort of giveaway. You know, we picked up some bottles, some water jet bottles, and we were going to do some sort of draw with them. And then we realized we didn't have enough, and the dice came along, and I said, how about we just roll a dice? We have 4 different colors dice. They can pick their favorite color. Roll 1 through 6. 1 gets the pole. 6 gets high. If there's any ties, we put a dice in each hand.
Dice off?
And then do a roll-off. And the kids loved it. I think they had a lot of fun. They looked like they had a lot of fun, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Something a little different. They enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I think we all enjoyed it. So slingshots were really fun to have on the tour. Great addition. And
yeah. I thought they were a nice touch. They fit the motif. Mm-hmm. Levi touched on a little bit. He appreciated the fact that there was a tour for the sport mods and the hobbies, and that's been your pitch since day one.
Yep.
Little recognition for the other 2 classes. So slingshots are right in the middle of this. Legend cars just explode the pit count, and their racing is intense. I mean,
yep.
You got to pay attention so you know what you're watching there. But yeah, nice week.
Sport mods, we talked to him earlier. Levi Runge puts a statement here on night number 5.
I think he removed all doubt. I mean, that really did put the stake in the heart, if you will. And
the car on the move, though, was Pace Herrera. Kind of didn't talk about him all week. He went +5. He was knocking on the back door right there. He made some moves to get by stretching.
Who finished third?
Uh-huh.
the arrows say Pace Herrera in great,
Yep.
good run for sure. But Cole Hanshu had to go tail end Charlie and then dug her all the way back. So really his...
Yeah, he shows red arrows, but he passed everything NTEC.
And Tech. Right. Right.
Taylor Stenvold 6, Justin Fichter, Keenan Glosser, Briggs Christensen, Devin Sini, your top 10.
And Gabe, his home track, you want to get that win.
He was trying.
He looked the part. Feel bad about that DNF for him.
Hobby Stocks, Diesel Reynard picks up the win.
We talked about that. He wanted to put a statement on the fact that he kind of backed into one the night before or could have been criticized for that. He removed all doubt, brought the Tour Championship home to him.
Yeah.
Good job.
But I want to talk about what you were talking about.
A car change came in the Satrin camp.
And he started tailing Charlie in that heat.
Yes.
And that car, he was putting that car in between holes. I don't think he touched a car, but I mean it was a clinic. And of course he won that heat and got second to Diesel in the feature. But that car and him are one and the same. Actually, I was speaking to Lon and Kyler about you. Because I think you kind of feel that same way about your red-lettered car.
Yeah.
Because that seems
more friendly.
Where the yellow one, you're like, I like you, but I don't love you. Right?
I think the relationship is right on. I would say they have that in their camp. No matter how hard you try to make two cars the same, it's hard to do.
It's Jules that he's in, I believe.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then there's a new one that just never sees the light of day. I wonder who else does that. You.
Well,
mine's based on gear changes and nothing more, or lack of.
Now you gotta slow Jordan down on that new car thing because the Brockster needed parts for your fantasy team to put on his car. So
behind the scenes, I mean it's a team. So, oh man, yeah.
So Jorn is actually helping out your fantasy team by putting parts from his car that he hasn't even raced yet on Brock's car.
As we are in a distant second.
We.
I'm anxious to see those points.
Yeah. I haven't even added them up here.
It's still a surprise.
As you said, Kyler Satrin, Trevor Haas, Sage Borrud, Kevin Smith, top 5. Chris Rangeloff, Ty Saxon, Pat Smith, Tyson Grinstead, Caden Rumfo. So after that, we calculated the points on that night and took their worst night out and kind of reshuffled it for championship night. And it didn't change the top of the leaderboard, but it definitely had an effect, down the ways a little bit. Levi and Diesel were both point leaders with, if we went to reshuffled, I mean, just to give everybody kind of a
what if?
A what if, Diesel Raynard would have had a 12-point lead going into championship night at Nodak Speedway. Levi Runge would have had 14 points. The whole purpose of doing that drop a night is to try to tighten that point battle up, give everybody kind of a chance.
I see it as a driver. I see it as even more than that. Of course, that's obvious. But if you have a bad night right out of the chute, you're like, I'm out of this thing. What's my focus? Where this way, you're not out of it. You're just not out of it. So,
I will say this: if we were to redo our fantasy picks, I think Trevor Haas is the Rodney Dangerfield of the hobby class, and I'd be thinking about picking him. I say Trevor's arrived.
Yeah.
Trevor's arrived.
Well,
Trevor arrived about 15 years ago from Kansas.
I was going to say, you need to ride with us. You need to ground your thinking. No, Trevor did have a good run. It's hard to explain. Even he can't. Oh, man. Yeah. He was ordering 12-inch springs. He found them somewhere. So, Trevor, are they in yet?
So, after the reshake-up in points, Levi Runge had a 14-point lead over Cole Hanshu. You remove the night, the drop a night. That puts Chad Stretchin in second, 6 back.
Whoa. There's drama.
Gabriel Deshaw, 8 back. Cole Hanshoes in 4th, 11 back. So Cole technically gained 3 points on, but 2 people moved ahead of Cole because they got to get rid of their worst night.
Because of their worst night. So Cole didn't really have a bad night.
He was pretty consistent all the way
As
through.
Williston was kind of in trouble because I know his steering quickener didn't work because he's got mine. So, Cole, I hope he didn't wreck that. I got to go racing this weekend.
So those points seem really unrealistic for Gabe because he seemed so right there.
So dominant, but the DNF's hurt.
And there was a DNF in Southwest Speedway?
Yeah, so he got to get rid of that. That's the whole point of the drop night.
And so what was his other DNF?
His
Botno.
Botno deal.
Oh, that's right.
So
Oh, man.
3 great nights, but 2 bad nights. 1 bad night was still good, but 2 was...
So, I mean, what Levi got to keep, Levi got rid of a 10th place finish. And he kept a first, a second, and a first. So
that's stout. That's stout. That is stout.
That's going to be tough
threes.
To beat. So, I mean, out of 160 total points, potential total points...
40 times 4.
Levi has 158. So there's only 2 points on the board that he doesn't have.
Yeah, that's the third. Yeah.
And then a guy like Chad Stretchin, boy, you talked about it. I can't remember no, he didn't even go to the Southwest Speedway.
But he drops
wasn't
that.
even there. He gets to get rid of that. Mm-hmm. So we're going to take the best 4. So Chad goes third.
Come on! Right. He had all thirds. I didn't remember he missed Dickinson, but yeah, there you go. Yeah, Mr. Bronze. Yeah, impressive.
So then Gabe picking up, he DNFs. He gets an 18th at the Southwest Speedway. So he wins 18th. He gets to get rid of that 18th place finish. Then he wins and wins. So, I mean, he's sitting ahead of Levi at that point by 2 points, technically. Because they do each have a win. Levi would have 2 seconds and then 2 wins. So he'd be 2 points behind. So if he could have just stayed within a couple positions of Levi, finished second to him, Gabe would go into championship night with the point lead. Gabe DNFs, finishes 11th, I think. And Levi wins, so that's going to give him that extra advantage going into championship night, which we never even had championship night.
Who was our closest American hobby driver?
Oh, we want to go to hobbies now?
Well, I just want to know who was our best American drivers.
Trevor Haas would finish third, so we'll go to the...
Trevor has arrived. I don't know if I can live through this. And I'm a rookie compared to you, Brandon. You're the engine owner. Right. Oh, TRD has arrived.
So in the hobby stocks, Diesel Raynard would go into championship night. What did we say? He would have had a... Now you're making me look it up again.
Per interview, he had it covered either way.
He had a 12-point lead. Diesel Raynard had a 12-point lead if we didn't do the drop a night. So now he would have 12 over Ty Saxon, 13 over Kyler, 29 over Cash Saxon. So, I mean, it wasn't even close as you got down the way. So you go in, you drop the night, you get rid of everybody's worst night. So in Diesel's... Diesel, I think, dropped a 4th place finish. I mean, that's how good his nights were.
Wow, dropped to 37. Wow. Mm-hmm.
Ty Saxon had trouble the opening night, drops that one, but he's only 6 back. So it cut the lead in half.
Setting a great stage for the final night.
For the final night.
Yeah.
Trevor Haas would have been only 9 back.
Yeah.
In third, Kyler
single
Satcher,
digits, anything
10
can
back.
happen. Yeah, including that.
So your top 3 are within 10 points. That's why we do the drop a night. Bring the points battle together. Allows the drivers, we're going to get rid of our worst night. Caden Tuchscher had rear end problems. He started the tour off great.
Yeah, Estevan, it looked like a bearing or something got him.
Had 2 DNFs right in the middle. Didn't even didn't even come up to Botno.
Well, it'll wear you out. And he had that smoke was coming off his left rear all night in Estevan until it stopped. Yeah. So
Who was the driving force behind the Estevan Motor Speedways? Was it Ed that got it going?
Ed was the driver that we knew. There was people around town that were very pro about it too. They'd had a track before that, they say out by the airport. I'd never participated at that. I didn't know that. But, yeah, Ed would have been a big part of that. You touched on IMCA Canada and stuff like that. I can tell you, we Nodak, John Gall and the bunch, we were very adamant that they had to be USA IMCA, because if the border was going to keep them from being IMCA USA, they were probably going to go with soda, because soda was the same on each side of the border. Kathy Root, Brett's mom at the time, was leading all that, and just hitting the highlights here. But a deal was made so that Estevan would be included in I'll call it North Dakota IMCA, which is IMCA USA. So a lot of things had to happen right there. I mean, there was people making the right phone calls and the right meetings and all that stuff there. That would have been in 1990. Well, their first year was 2000, so that would have been in the winter of 99. Fall of 99, winter of 99.
All the drivers coming out of that area, just that track, the influence. If that track was never put together, I mean, Ed Turnbull is their George Washington, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal.
Certainly in this modern era, for sure. Because I didn't know the racetrack before that. So, yeah. It's our newest racetrack, as I say, and it's laid out right. It's laid out right. So, yeah, you're right, Craig. Great racers coming out of there.
So you were able to take in 2 pit meetings, or 3 with the Underwood. TNA Tong and Indicator, Austin Carruthers, Darren Shot Storage. What an amazing week of giveaways that they provided. They not only they paid for they paid Jen Ravinius, they paid Jake Nelson, and they paid Ben Deathridge. They put the money up to bring them 3 so I could afford to put the tour on, and then giveaways.
Wow. Impressive. I mean, again, the Tougher Than Dirt Tour, which is big to us, and it is, but it's not on the grandiose scale. But the giveaways were on the grandiose scale.
10 items every pit meeting given away all week long.
Yeah. It almost got long in all the right ways.
The pit meeting did.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
we got better at the pit meeting as the week went along.
But I mean, it needed that time, because that's how it works. But yeah, so you're right. Local participation was off the hook. It was good, and that's why things go good. Again, I talked at the top of the show how well I would call the Sunday lunch, and everybody was still digging. I mean, they were still ready to go. Of course, it wasn't raining when lunch started, but it was raining when it was over. So, but nonetheless, everybody involved, like you talked, the enthusiasm was just right. I mean, it's hard to be bubbly 6 nights in, living out of a suitcase, but they were.
They did it.
They did it. They did do it.
They did it.
Great on the sponsors, like say TNA Tong and Darren racing car and also participating. That's awesome.
Yeah,
all these things work.
Shout out to all these people. I said it at every pit meeting. I didn't do a good enough job as an announcer to say all these sponsors every night. I should have done a better job, but you just get so busy up there, and I'm not making excuses. I should have done a better job, but making photography, Maggie coming on the whole tour, great addition. Her energy.
I was gonna say her enthusiasm is contagious.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is. It is.
She keeps it fun. So.
Fury Energy, the Conway family. I can't say enough about everything they do.
Solid as a rock.
Having the Robbie Conway Memorial the Saturday night of the Tougher Than Dirt Tour is the most amazing thing that could ever happen.
That's the first time I've been up there under the lights. And my body temperature was 70 degrees when the checker flags dropped, and I wanted to keep going.
Yeah. It cools right off when the sun goes down on the mountain.
But those lights, oh, man, that was just gorgeous up there.
Yeah, neat deal. Like I say, the event is precious to the Conways, and the atmosphere is accordingly.
Sebo Motorsports, the Hobby Stock Hard Charger. He's been there for quite a few years. He's on our show with us. Ryan Sebo, his support is second to none on the Tougher Than Dirt Tour. Added some new ones. We did some new stuff this year, just trying to expenses with losing Nick Hulberg and me having to come up with that extra money. I had to sell a few more things to help the cost of the tour. And
Oh, very nice.
soon, he says.
Well, I don't know if Jules is running fine. I maybe just.
Redline Motorsports, Chris Schultz came on board with sponsoring the Hobby Stock Heat races. So them pictures you guys seen on Facebook all week. My daughter, amazing job getting that picture, getting it up on Facebook with the signboard.
I was digging that.
It was pretty fun to follow along. LT Performance, Tim Goodwin, we've talked about him. Fix the Yellow Pickup, sponsor. He was also the nightly sponsor over there in Williston when we were over there racing.
They used his car as the parade or
the
pace car.
Darn TV is the Slingshot Heats. I didn't have anybody to buy that one, so I put my name on it. I didn't pay myself. I guess I should have, but
Default.
Adam Goff, DD North Victory Lane, made all the signs. Every driver got to go home with one of them DD North Victory Lane feature winner signs.
Adam's good for her game.
I
got a shirt on.
You got his shirt on. Made the stickers for all the tour drivers. Every driver got a sticker with every sponsor. We have a couple packs left if you would like some stickers. No, Adam, shout out to Adam.
Yeah.
Not only did Adam do that, then he also did contingencies, the champions, in all three divisions got wrap vouchers.
Nice.
Levi Runge, Diesel Raynard each got $500 each. Aaron Turnbull, Eli Turnbull, $250 for a slingshot. DD North, huge supporter.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adam.
That's cool stuff. So
$250. That's a lot of money for Eli.
yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. AT21, Aaron Turnbull
Spoilers.
gave spoilers, sponsored the live timing and scoring. His logo was up on the screen the whole week.
A lot of racers giving back to the deal. So
Yeah, 2 spoiler kits to the. I haven't drawn the random names yet. I'll draw out of the guys that came every night. We'll draw that out and get that out. Dakota Trackside coming back on as a supporter with it being Stenvold's. It was an easy go in there, talk to him. He said, I'll sponsor intermission and redraw. So every time we were down there throwing the bags, that was sponsored by Dakota Trackside. So shout out to them. Making signs and graphics, did the coolers for the Hobby Stock hard chargers. Two Dark Designs did the T-shirts. Watney Farms gave cash away in the Hobby Stocks. Nice Impressions donated all the kids' trophies, which were actually a pretty cool water bottle. That was one of them. I don't know what kind it was. I don't know. It was kind of a cool steel water bottle that drivers could sign, give it out. I wanted to do something different than trophies, you know. And then Stu Craig.
Stanleys or whatever they're called.
Yep, the Stanley Cups. Stu Craig did the big checks and diecast. I have not picked up the new diecast yet, but I'm going to fill out my deal here with diecast. Big
checks are cool.
Yep.
Yeah, and the diecasts, of course, too, but big checks are cool. So,
Quick Racing Roof. They were on. They came on board. I don't know if you guys know this, but that's now in the Deshaw's hands. Gabe and Bo.
Okay.
Quick Racing Roof, giving away two roofs for the sport mods.
Valuable.
And then the Points Fund guys, we had some extra people come on board for Points Fund. You know how the week starts is it's $1,000 to win the Hobby Stock points, $1,000 to win the mod or sport mods, and then it's $600, $400 for second and third. So it's $2,000 in each class. Between these guys here, Mr. Exterior, Keena from Bismarck, Dakota Trackside, Quick Racing Roof, Two Strong, Prairie Coatings. Between them, plus Darn TV threw in some extra money to make it an even amount. We actually got $2,000 extra dollars.
Wow.
Above the $4,000 that we planned on.
So we got $6,000.
So we got $6,000 between all them guys, and what we did is we gave it to fourth and fifth in points. Fourth would have got $300. Fifth would have got $200 in the hobbies and sport mods, so that's $1,000. And then the 5 slingshots, the top 5 in slingshots, we're getting $200 each. That's how we kind of broke that out. So the extra $2,000 goes right back into the drivers. I don't put it in my pocket. I try to give as much money, either the cash that's brought in goes to paying the employees or going back to the drivers.
Well, that's pretty awesome. So, It was big to start with, and it got bigger before it was over.
Yeah,
that's not usual, so that's cool.
Yeah, guys were coming on board. The other one I didn't put on the list because he added during the week. 8th and 9th all week, Jesse Long. Put extra $50 up for 8th and 9th for Tim Goodwin, 89 Tim Goodwin. So 8th and 9th.
Nice touch.
$50 to each position. I have not passed that money out yet because he handed it to me as the night goes on, and I'm not good at remembering. I suffer from CRS. Do you know what CRS is?
Is it like TRD?
Can't remember shit.
I can't believe Diesel left without taking his money.
Well, I didn't get to him fast enough. I'm going to be real with you. I slept in on Sunday morning. I was tired.
Yeah, you should have. I think I did.
Because they all thought they were going to see you Sunday.
Yeah.
Correct.
Sure.
Yeah.
Correct.
The rain didn't actually hit the ground till, 4 o'clock? I mean,
Right.
The hard part was driving around in Minot on Sunday and seeing haulers, and they're like,
We're all here, yeah.
It ain't that winter's long enough. We got to rain out, too.
Yeah. So thank you for being patient while we ran through them. I wanted to give all them
That's
guys
awesome,
one more
sponsors.
shout out.
You can't overemphasize their involvement. It's easy to talk about things like this, but to actually make it happen requires a lot.
And
these people are a lot.
I hope all of them left happy. We tried our best. There's some things I can do and can't do because racetrack sponsors kind of take precedence. For racetrack, you guys have K&D Services, Victory Lane. So, Adam, we can't say DD North Victory Lane as much, but I give them the time on the screen, the picture on Facebook. Hopefully everybody's okay with that. It's just hard to find that balance between what you racetrack sell and what I can sell.
There is a balance there. Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to step on your guys' toes. And, it's...
I think everybody involved, if everybody's getting some kind of exposure, I think it's probably an understood deal. I hope.
We will do the drawings. I promise I'll get them done hopefully before the weekend. My work schedule tomorrow. I won't be home before midnight tomorrow because I got to get everything done tomorrow so I can go to Underwood on Friday.
Friday night? That's so cool.
Friday night.
The McLean County Fair.
Should we go?
Come for the races and go to the fair.
Yep.
Seriously.
Come for the races and go to the fair.
I enjoy walking around there. It's not a long walk, but it's an interesting walk. I like it. Looking forward to it.
I sound like such a fatty. But there's so much good stuff there, too,
There is. That's all right. We can indulge in June.
Yeah.
Should we go into the Fear the Rear making moves? I don't know. You'll probably go with Trevor Haas.
Brandon, no.
What?
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I'm going with the Beater family.
Oh.
My goodness. Max up on the flag stand going bananas with those flags. I'm freezing to death in Botno. I'm going to my car warming up, and I look at him up there just soldiering on like a stud up there. And everything that I don't know how you physically can do it. Jenny, I couldn't do anything if her eyes aren't on the camera running the darn TV. And then Peyton, she's such a supporter of you. Your family, I
guess I should have went further with all the thank yous because the group that we had with us, it was, number one, my wife and my kids. You guys don't understand. Nobody, I'm the face. People see me, hear me. I'm a lot the idea guy, and I float the idea across to them, and they're the enactors. They're the people that
carry it out.
That carry it out. Mm-hmm. And I had to have a heart-to-heart with both my kids on the first night of the tour just to remind them, we've done this before. This is year 10. We all know what we're doing. Let's do it.
Yeah, because you kind of forgot, but don't forget again.
Well, and that's the only thing we had all week. Everything else just boom, 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 boom. Everything I threw at, and Maggie was a big part of it with Peyton. Everything I threw at them, they just handled. They just took care of it. Jen Ravinius, the whole week was there for scoring, timing and scoring. You got to have that consistency. You have to have it.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Every track has a person that does it. But to have that one person on every single night that keeps it consistent, and you gotta have it.
Carrying the totals into the next night and just being able to explain it when there's a curious question that comes up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jake Nelson, coming on board, being the race director the first year. Fantastic job all week. Kept the shows going. Finding that balance between keeping it going, but also giving the racers a chance to race. I'm not a fan on a tour. We are on a tour. I am not a fan of cutting laps and features.
Yeah.
Because I want this thing to race out.
Yeah.
And he did a good job when the races were getting a little out of hand, when the drivers weren't cooperating, because they are what they are. He was able to get on the receiver, talk some sense into them, and say, guys, we need to finish some laps. People didn't want to show up to watch cautions.
Yeah.
And because it's the truth.
Yeah. And sometimes that little pep talk does go somewhere. So,
Dave Ravinius filling in, tech inspecting the first 3 nights. I asked him. He kind of did the typical Dave, well, yeah, I guess I can, He gave up maybe racing the Tougher Than Dirt Tour. He can race it. He's got a sport mod.
Yeah.
And he gave that up to join us the first 3 nights in Underwood, Dickinson, Williston.
Week's worth of work. Yeah.
Taking the days off work. So shout out to him.
I got him back home. Woo. Hey, Dave. Hey, Spicy.
Yeah, and then you said my wife, running camera for Darn TV. Unreal. I don't think people... I do think people understand how lucky we are to have her on camera, because when you watch other broadcasts, when you watch other national races, I think the best compliment she got was we were in Fargo, and we were standing up in the bleachers, and Deanne Selvison, Deanne Schatz, stands next to her and says, hey, how's it going? We haven't seen her in quite a few years, whatever. And she turns to Jenny and she goes, are you the one that runs camera in Minot at Nodak? And Jenny goes, yep. And she goes, I got to tell you, that's way better than Dirt Vision a lot of nights. That's way better than Flow Racing a lot of nights. The job that you do and to give people at home, she goes, you need kudos. And that's the truth. I think we're spoiled and we take it for granted. And you just go and watch some other racing maybe, and you won't get the same thing,
Underwood. I'm sitting really in close proximity to her, and she's amongst the crowd, the group, distractions, and she's got to stay focused always on what she's doing. And it doesn't matter if it's cold, doesn't matter if she has to go to the bathroom. I mean, there's just so many variables, and that's a long time to stay focused. And
to add to the list of what she's doing right, and all those are right. But what I think sets her apart when you're talking against Dirt Vision and coming from Deanne is that she listens to the announcing.
Yep.
And she stays on what you're announcing. It doesn't sound like a big deal until you think about it. When the announcers are talking about the leaders and the camera's on 10th place, it don't match.
Right.
So when you're saying, we got a great battle here, 8th, 9th, and 10th, she pans back to 8th, 9th, and 10th. and she's on it. So that matters.
Not only does she follow the cue of the announcers, she actually leads the announcers sometimes. If we're talking about that battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th.
And something happens at third.
Up in third, if Jordan Boyce is going to the inside of Brenner for third, she zooms out, she goes in, and we see that as announcers because we have the monitors right in front of us. You've been up in the booth at Nodak.
Yeah, that's what I say.
We have the monitors in front of us, and
she steers you along when it's time.
And we'll make that transition and go in the battle for third, Boyce to the inside of Grinstead as they go into. We make that transition with her, and it's something I say. We take it for granted, but. People don't want to hear about all these sponsors and all the people. I've dropped 15 viewers in the last 10 minutes, but so be it.
Yeah.
This is the one episode I get to talk about myself.
You should.
That's all right. That's all right. So.
And then Ben Dethridge. There ain't enough good things I can say about Ben Dethridge.
I met him, and 10 minutes later we called the rainout race last year on the tour. And I'm a rookie amongst pros, and just think he's just a super individual. When you heard that Bill Martin was retiring, you're like, holy cow. I mean, Bill Martin designed Bill Martin's spot. And then to hear Ben was taking it over, it's like, that's a perfect fit.
Yep.
That is a perfect fit. The PR of IMCA. He's a historian by nature.
Here's what I found.
So excited to be with you guys on Sunday night, and it didn't happen. But
my wife was watching some of the racing with me, or maybe she was sitting there reading a book and listening. I don't know. But anyway,
You didn't look.
Ben is talking about us. He must have done a deep dive research on our drivers'
you guys
history.
don't get it. You don't get it. That guy there, his level of homework.
And his
His
gigabyte storage.
His level of show prep that I don't do.
But you get by.
His level of show prep or research going into it is unreal. Like when I picked him up from the airport, it was Monday, and we grabbed a little bite to eat, and we hung out here for a little while. And he goes, "Can you give me a ride to the hotel?" I give him a ride to the hotel, and he was up all night. I swear to God, because when he got in the vehicle the next day for me to pick him up to go, he was asking me a million questions. He had spreadsheet with numbers, with this, and I sent him all the history of the Tough and the Nerd Tour. So he had this, and he goes, "Who do you think we talked about who maybe the top runners would be, and going into it, and he had everything, stats for every one of them
to the nines, yeah." It's impressive.
And it is just, it's unreal. And just, beyond that, just a good dude.
Yeah.
Just a good dude.
Just high on IMCA. It's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. High on racing.
Yeah, racing, yeah. To add what you're saying, sometimes if you catch it on Facebook, he'll do a kind of a driver spotlight on a feature winner at Nodak. It might come out a week later. But, I mean, just the adjectives and all that are just exciting. He does a very nice write-up on people. Almost like he knows you.
It did.
Cool.
It felt like he'd been with us always.
Good on him. He's going places. I mean, he's the real deal. Yeah, when he impresses you, that's impressive.
He's signed up for next year. So
yeah, that's cool.
Is he doing the mod tour also?
Yep.
And he'll be back in a month.
Yep, he'll be back in a month. I think there's a big announcement who his partner is going to be, and I know who it is. And it ain't me. But
I know nothing, so
the things that I can't announce it here. The things that I learned from him all week, and just his I basically told him, "You're the stat guy. I'm going to be the racer guy that calls the races with you, and I'm producing Darn TV." So he literally has 2 laptops. He has boom, both with spreadsheets open. One with one class, one with the other class. He's typing in names. He has his iPad.
Wow.
And he has his phone. All 4 of them going at one time while he's announcing. And, when I sit there, when he takes the race, he's calling the battle for the lead into 3 and 4, and coming on down the front stretch. We're down to 3 laps to go, and I take over, and I said, into turn number 1, Runge is in the lead still, and I do my lap or lap and a half. The whole time he's listening, but at the same time he's typing. And he's trying to figure out what can he say for a stat or what here. And he comes back with, 8-time track champion Levi Runge is out in the lead. He's won 4 in a hobby stock and 4, whatever. And I'm just sitting there, I look and I go, what? Where did that come from?
Yeah. Salute. It's impressive.
Well, yeah. My wife,
good.
who doesn't really get into much racing.
This guy. Did you hear the stats on this guy? 44 or 43. He came up with 44, I think, sanctioned legitimate IMCA championships, whether it be state, track, whatever.
The good old days.
And he was pulling out stats from the 90s.
See, that's when it was good, before computers. I'm glad somebody believes in it.
He asked if he asked if he could be a little bit of a nerd, or he called it tourist, and if we could stop and do some sightseeing, take some pictures.
Oh yeah, you were talking about the turtles and stuff.
Yeah. So I tried to
found a turtle on a snowmobile.
Every trip that we went on, I tried to stop and get him some pictures.
Got him some Badlands.
And
had he been to Canada before?
Oh yeah, he was up here on the mod tour last year. Yep.
Yeah, but he hadn't been to Boissevain. He has now. So.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
He no, he was pretty excited. Underwood being he thought it was just neat in Underwood because we were sitting with the crowd. We were legitimately out in the crowd, and something that maybe you don't experience every racetrack, and
A lot of the crowd, including my parents or whatever, like to be close by just to hear
to-
and feel the
yep.
action. So
And I thought, it's like any two announcers, we had to kind of learn each other and how he does things and how I do things. And I thought after Underwood, going into Dickinson, we started to hit our flow, and it only got better I feel it only got better. But maybe somebody else out there didn't like us announcing together. But
I really like his ability to, like you say, stats at speed, man. That is cool stuff. So he knows how to promote the promote.
and Maggie says it, always working. The guy never stops. He is.
Yeah, those are good words, Maggie.
He is writing stories for IMCA. Every story, this is what people go to IMCA Racing on Facebook. Every story that comes out is written by Ben Dethridge right now.
Yeah, I was picking up on that last summer, and they're nice write-ups. I mean, there's some time put into them.
Yes.
He ain't just plucking a few.
And he's writing
off
them as
the
we're
wall.
going down the road. He wants to do a story on a given track. They have a broadcast. He is watching the broadcast while he's typing his story. And then he gets it all typed up and he sends it off, and then he moves to the next broadcast, and boom, he's doing it again. And it's just never ending as we're going down the road, and it was fun to be a part of it. And
yeah, he's going to do well. Welcome to IMCA, Ben. Welcome to North Dakota. Lucky us.
yeah,
So
if he wanted to move here, we probably have a job for him at several racetracks.
yeah, we could just get some pay. Well, he lives in Oregon. He's probably ready to come to North Dakota. I meant that nice, Ben. I meant that nice.
On a good note, tentatively, I mean, we haven't officially solidified it yet, but he says it's a really, really good chance he's going to be up here to announce the Cole County Classic.
Oh, wow.
Heck yeah.
See,
And then
heck
do the
yeah.
stock car, the
The 4,000 to win.
The 4,000 to win on Sunday.
Nodak. Yeah, because we're going to make that whole weekend big stock car pay.
Yep.
Both nights of Cole County, and so yeah.
Tentatively.
Hoping to get some travelers on that deal. Top of August.
that
1, 2, and
Clayton
3, I
County just keeps growing, man.
And the burgers are still good. And 2's too many.
I don't know if I'm going to go that far. I think I'm going to take that challenge on.
I thought I was hungry. Yeah. Started wobbling on second
Texas Red upcoming schedule.
one. Quick Texas Red. Are we still on?
Thank you to the Beebs.
Yeah. Little update on the East Satellite. I'll call it the Dirt Weekly Corn, 5 plots. Talked with Jeff a little bit there. My 63 day is about 6 inches tall. He goes, that's about right. My 85 day, about 4 inches tall. He goes, everything's about right. So, yeah, Dirt Weekly Corn's moving right along.
We're going to get some sweet corn, Greg.
So
Yeah.
are you watering that at all?
I
Hold
am.
on.
I am.
Is it today?
June 11th?
I think today is National Corn Cob Day.
Really?
I believe it is.
How come I don't know this? Jeff, shout out. Let us know. Oh, Craig's looking it up. So, yeah. So, just a quick poke in there that Texas Red's alive and well in my 6-foot high fence.
Is
You know,
Dusty
with that said,
Lawson-
I had about a 1-week-old Bambi leaned up against it tonight. I actually didn't see it until I was watering before we came. And the thing squeaked, and I'm like, I thought I stepped on something. It jumped up and ran. I'm sure Mom was close by, but it was on the outside of the fence, and that's the key to what I'm saying right now.
It is.
Stay out there.
National
Is it?
Corn Cob Day, June 11th.
Oh, my God.
Dusty Lawson, he knows.
He knows. So, well, if you're following along, the corn is doing good. And Tina's got 2 rows of peas, and they're doing good. So, carrots, they take a while to come up. I'm not sure where they are, but we got some transplanted pumpkins and some tomatoes. We're doing okay. Squirrels, got to keep them out. I'm not sure how yet.
Upcoming schedule. McLean County Speedway
McLean County.
Fair.
Yep, McLean County Fair. Some keynotes, 7:00 Friday. We're used to that. 5:00 on Saturday. That's early, but again, we got to make everything jive with the concerts and stuff like that. Now, Isaac could text if we had questions. We might be past his bedtime, but any rate, there's going to be a fast 40 for the modifieds on Friday.
Totally cool.
Totally cool.
Qualifying.
In groups. Yeah. So, right. So, and then it'll be stock cars on Saturday.
How are you going to do that?
What do you mean, how are you going to do that?
Well, how are you keeping track of...
It'll be in groups and the transponders can do it.
Yeah, the
Really?
We'll time off the transponders. A great question, though. Yeah. It would have been stopwatch stuff years ago, but all cars have a transponder. So then they'll qualify in groups, and then that'll be all figured out for the lineup. But hey.
Then the cool part is I'm bringing the dice, and whoever the fastest time is, I think they get $100 for fast time.
Okay. I don't know all the details. So.
And then they're going to roll the dice. Roll the dice. And that dice is going to have 1 through 6. And whatever it lands on, that's how many you invert.
How many rows?
No, I think.
How many cars?
How many cars?
Okay.
So if he.
So a 1, it's straight up.
Yep.
And a 6 would be top 3 rows inverted.
Yep.
I like this qualifying stuff. I do.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a place for weekly racing for sure, and we've talked about that. But I like the specials. I like more of a straight-up lineup because it's always earned. And that's what bigger shows are. So, but a little bit of this is trying to make the best of our window of opportunity. And I think Isaac's done a great job here. He's trying to put a twist on the same old going around in circles stuff. Let's give it a chance. I mean, I don't know why it won't turn out great. Should be good. County Fair, like I say, come for the races, go to the fair.
Big purse all weekend. 1,000 to win for mods, 700 for stock cars, 500.
I want to emphasize the modifieds. They're there both days. That's been a new addition now. We've had late models in the past. We've had different stuff. But the IMCA modified is there both days.
So is Dakota Speedway not running this Friday night?
No, they
racing. Are, because Brock's going to go there Friday.
Yeah, you're going to miss out on Brock at Underwood. He's going to go down to Mandan.
Yeah, so what does that do? Did they drop mods? I'm not sure. They did not. Okay. Okay, so there's going to be some crisscrossing there. Tough deal. Scheduling conflicts bound to happen. So, but nonetheless, big things happening. Fair Board's very involved with us. We strive to give back on an equal or more level. The racing community has done well on the wristband counts. They keep track of who's going to the races and who's going to the fair. That all matters in the wintertime when we're negotiating the next year. So it's our fair. Be there. Enjoy some racing. Enjoy some fair food. Mm-hmm. We will, won't we? Yeah. So wingless will be there. Stock cars will be there.
Yeah, 5 classes.
Yep.
Both nights.
Yep. So, like I say, a little twist on it. Be some 40
Are
stuff.
legends there?
No.
No, we got wingless and the 4 IMCA classes. So, but it will be good. Yes. 7 o'clock and 5 o'clock.
7 o'clock and 5 o'clock. I'm pulling in something here into the...
And then Sunday will be NODAC. It will be the second to the last points night.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. The days are getting shorter here in just a few days, the 20th. So, yes. So that is going to be the 3 days that I'm racing and where, and probably most of us. So,
Let's roll this. Just a second. Boom. There's the purses for the weekend, which you can't be upset about on them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and like you say, you're going to roll a dice, so the most will get inverted is 3 rows. So things are going to move right along.
And then, you guys wait till you see this. You're going to like this. You're going to go, holy man, Brandon is on his game today.
Well, he showed up after us, so.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Technical
Look at this.
difficulties.
Look at that.
Whoa, side by side.
With me in the middle.
Yeah. Well,
Can't see Jordan or
I
Craig.
can live with that. I can live with it. So
On the right side is your fast 40. How it's going to work? 2-lap qualifying.
So does the qualifying start at 7 and 5, or is that going to be like earlier? I can't miss that.
I think it's all part of the event.
It's all part of the
Yeah.
event. I think it's all part of the
nothing
7
happens
o'clock.
before 7. And nothing happens before 5. So
Is it Cout Excavating throwing in an additional $1,000 at the mods? So it's actually $2,000 to win.
Yeah, Hayden Crouch putting some stuff towards that. So
on Friday,
I caught that on Facebook here. So yeah, so much like your tour, people are jumping on. There's a lot of, again, if you've been to Underwood, you understand the excitement. If you haven't, come and join us. The excitement is contagious. I mean, it's electric down there for reasons we really can't explain, but nonetheless, the mood is right. So, and during the fair, it's even better. I know you've been there in the past, Craig. I enjoy it. It's county fair. I enjoy it.
For crying out loud, the zipper's there.
Yep.
I think it is.
Yes.
Yeah. It might be your chance to visit your past.
$2,000 payday, man.
Yeah, there's going to be some guys paying attention here, so, yep.
I honestly, $2,000 qualifying. I'm sorry, guys. You got to find a race director. I'm jumping in Brock's mod. So we're just going to roll this. Craig's going to be my pit guy. We're just going to roll.
Oh, great. It looks good, Brandon. Get her on out there.
Craig will have to cover for you being race director during the modified deal. Right. Yeah.
No, there's no chance in that. You ain't going to see me.
No chance. It's only Wednesday. I'm not holding my breath.
No chance. No chance.
I've ended up in Florida on the no chance talk. So.
I have that hobby stock license I'd like to keep. No chance.
Yeah. That'll keep you grounded.
Hayden Cout, thank you for sponsoring.
Yes, Hayden. Very nice. Hayden been a part of making that racetrack what it is. So appreciate your past and your presence. So.
Yeah, and as you said, Nodak Speedway, second to last points
Sunday. Night. So it's our fantasy teams are starting to
I still don't
get lined
have
up.
fantasy updated.
Yeah, it'll be funner on Wednesday when there's one night left.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah.
It'll be a surprise for everybody
Yeah.
next Wednesday.
Yeah, probably not Craig, but maybe you and I. So
the real story is I didn't have any IMCA modifieds there last Sunday when we had an actual race, so I don't even want to calculate points.
Yeah. Well, again, I think Craig's still 200 ahead of us. So yeah.
Yeah, on to Hot Sauce Fantasy. I don't have the.
Yeah. I'm assuming Craig's still leading because he had about a 200 on me, so I think 170 on you. So, and if you were missing modifieds, that just got worse.
I mean, we could roll the
Team Jordan stickers have been fun. Team's been enjoying that.
Wait till the Team Brandon stickers show up.
Yeah, I don't even get a Team Jordan. I get a Team Brandon.
Yeah, look at that.
Got 9 guys with a Team Jordan.
Your Team Craig stickers look pretty good.
Oh, but they're super cool. Yeah. Lon asked me for one. I got to get those.
Yeah, you got 2 days left, dude. You got to get them on. You're walking through the pits, you see the stickers, like, cool kids in town here. So, the cool kids are here.
I mean, we can play the fantasy game while online here. If you guys wanted to help me go through it, we could add points in.
All right.
This
will be fun.
So let's let me roll this open here. Got to get Hot Sauce Fantasy. Jordan's over here like, yeah, I'll play along with whatever you guys want me to play along with. There it is.
If I could just see better.
Well, that's pretty big, isn't it?
So we're going.
If I could just see better.
So you start with the hobby stocks, and you roll. You just go to the Nodak points, and I think
are we all the way back to June 1st?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. All night.
All right. Hobbies feature.
Well, no, you don't need the feature. We're going with. You can go just track points. So we go to the hobby stocks. Everybody was there.
I don't think that must be the paid version.
Tyson Grinstead, 228. So we'll add that in there. the Rubies. Did Rubies race the last time?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
108 points. Nope, I don't think they did. Did they?
Didn't they? I thought they did.
Let me check
They
here.
raced at the doubleheader.
Yes, 33 points. So we got to add.
Yeah,
We got to add 33 points to their 135. Remember, because they missed a bunch of nights.
Yeah.
So this is where the points get tricky because you get 15 for not. So that'd be 168, right?
Okay.
168. And then the old Haas car, Trevor Haas, he's at a 222.
Has he been there every night?
Yep. And then the Max Beater's been. Where's Max at?
He's got some 15s.
230.
He had a 4th place finish that night.
Yeah. Caden Appelt's at a 242.
He won.
Diesel Raynard is
Third.
at a 239. Kyler Satrin is at a 262. You guys are getting an up close and personal. This is how I figure out points.
The production of the production.
174 for Alex Twite. Now we roll into Sport Mods. Northern Sport Mods hit all. We start over here with Cole Hanshoe. He's got a 207.
I'll give you a guess where Chad finished that night.
Robbie Roselli, 262.
Somewhere between second and fourth.
Gabe Deshaw is 255.
Somewhere in there.
You got it.
Darren Schatz is 226. I think most everybody was there in these classes. It only gets sticky when you get down to the mods. Keenan Glosser is a 220. Sladen Pfeiffer, where's he at? Slado, 175. Chad Stretchin is
Plus 38.
259.
And Taylor won that night.
And Taylor would be 233. So you see the points adding up at the bottom. We're not getting any closer.
No, that's my, yeah.
We're not.
Wah, wah, wah.
Who won this night?
Now you go to the stock cars. Hit view all. So then we got an Adam Goff. Where's Adam? A 202.
He got second.
Yeah. 38 was on it.
Gabe Deshaw is a 253.
Jordan
This
got
is
third.
Yeah.
This is epic stuff here. This is TV at its finest.
Yeah. This is my best finish of the year anywhere.
Jordan Boyce, a 199er.
199er. Oh.
Kyle Schopp is... Where's Kyle Schopp? Kyle Schopp.
He got 7.
238. 238. See, I try to make it easy on the math because now here's where Mad Mike Hagan. Mad Mike was not there, so I think he only gets a plus 15, right?
Yeah.
So 15 would be 188, 193. Chris Tuchscher was there. Where's Chris at points? He's a 196er.
Will Sharesky won that night.
We'll put the 40 on her.
Will Sharesky's 264. And the old Brockster is at 254.
And he took the carburetor right off the manifold.
Did it tear it off? Did it tear the carburetor off?
I didn't take the carburetor off it, but it broke the...
Air cleaner stud?
Yep. Which is never good.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't need bumpers on carburetors.
Marcus Tomlinson is a 232.
Second place.
Isaac Sondrel,
Is Marcus
Hot
in
Sauce,
second?
220.
We got a second place finish that night.
Yeah. True that.
Travis Hagan, I don't believe was there, so he's a 15er, right?
The 15er.
And that was Isaac's 5th place finish.
Yep. So 186, 191. Thule was not there.
Plus 15.
So that'd be a 177, 182. Everybody understands my private school math and how I do it in my head now.
Yep.
Chris Tuchscher,
9th.
223. Jason Walla is a 40, right? He won?
Yeah, he won her.
So you're at a 179. Steve Pfeiffer is a 269.
3rd place.
And Drew Christensen is a 235. Have we got any closer to him? We have not.
Yeah, it's going to be a toughie.
I'm not 200 out, though, going into this deal. I'm only 197. Look at it from the positive side.
I think you were 170 before, but How close are you and I? I can't read it.
I got not quite 20 points, 23 points on you.
Oh.
Nah.
Am I ahead of Smallsy?
I got 17 points on you.
Am I ahead of Smallsy?
Yeah, we're both clear of Smallsy by quite a ways. You got 50 on Smallsy. I got 60. So Brooklyn Tomlinson, we got to go to the compacts. We got to add, what do we got to add to her?
Ninth place.
So how many points is ninth? 31?
32.
32.
Yep.
So 135. The Yostinator, where's Yost at in points? 189.
Second.
Hugh Banks.
He won her.
192.
40.
Lily got fourth.
And Lily Christensen with 177. Those are your totals. So it's Smalls Medler in last with 1859. Jordan Boyce with 1907. Brandon, myself with 1932. And Craig with 2127. So it ain't even close.
Behind you. So
it ain't even close.
Craig's almost. He's like the jet airliner. He pulled the throttle back. He's coasting into Orlando, at about Illinois area.
Thank you for playing along as I did the fantasy update.
Yeah. Well, we learn something every night.
I think this might be our longest show.
We're at 3.5 hours right now.
I guess we did start late.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at 3.5.
The potential was there, but the starting time was not good. Well, it wasn't terrible, but it was okay.
Hayden wants to know if the 27W will show up in Underwood. I don't have that answer.
No, I don't know. We need Smallsy. Smallsy's connected to a big show pretty good.
Yeah.
Seem to know what's going on.
2,000 to win. That's good.
I would say not impossible. Big Show's had some big features there. So, yeah, good races. I'm assuming the Fife Dog's coming. I have not had that clarity yet, but I'm assuming.
I guess that'd probably be up to Sladen, wouldn't it?
Well, good point. Yeah. See what K-Rock knows. Yeah. Yeah, so we should have some players there.
Maggie will have Tim Goodwin stickers in Mandan with her on Friday night and Saturday at the McLean County Speedway. So if anybody out there has not gotten a Tim Goodwin sticker,
let's get them.
Let's get
everybody.
them.
Let's get everybody to have one of them.
I didn't say this earlier.
On their hauler and on their race
Did I
car.
say this earlier? How much money we raised on the Tougher Than Dirt Tour total?
You did.
I didn't know if I got a total. We talked about one night was 4,000, but
so we did a pass the helmet every single night. We sold stickers. Maggie and Peyton sold stickers. Put it all together. I have the breakdown of what each night got, but that to me doesn't mean anything. I mean, that each track needs to get credit for donating the money, but I don't want to compare this track to this track to that track. That's not the game we play. Over $10,000 for the week.
I remember the goal being 10, so it got reached. That's awesome.
We reached the 10. That's what we wanted was 10.
Yeah.
We reached the $10,000 goal. That's
cool
a shout
stuff.
out to everybody that attended the races in person and donated money. We had several people that bought stickers for all the cars that were in the pits on that night, even though they already had stickers, but they just wrote us a check or gave cash for stickers for everybody. Sladen Pfeiffer says they are coming Friday for sure.
Friday for sure.
What about Saturday?
He just said, we're coming Friday for sure.
Why would they bail Saturday? Was it the fair race that Slade came and parked beside you with his slingshot? Or was that the Cole
I
County?
It was Cole County. Yeah.
Okay, so then it was the Travis Hagen-Steven battle during the fair then.
No. It must have been during the fair because, must have been during the fair because it was a Travis Stevens show at the Cole County. We didn't have mods there last year. What do we had?
I don't know.
Because that was a pretty slick race.
Yeah. Yeah, the Steven and Travis deal, that was the Cole County.
Dude, I just did 10 nights in 11 days.
What day is it? I don't know.
You're asking me about last year?
You'd remember.
We barely got through the show. June 1st? Well, a long time ago.
If we keep going for another...
It'll be Thursday.
Yeah, it'll be Thursday. Tim Perkins is coming for the A-Mods. Got a call from him this afternoon. Hayden Tout.
Heck yeah.
Good work, Hayden.
Yeah.
Hayden, I may know you. I may not. Your name doesn't ring a bell. please introduce yourself to me this weekend. Or
I bet we're going to see a Zach Doctor sighting.
the barn built car. He built it in a barn.
I know you.
Barn built.
You totally.
He was the first one to
pranked
sign
me.
up for the tour. They
You
said.
pranked me on that. I was convinced.
Yeah. Well, he's got a barn. That happens.
So we did the fantasy. I suppose we can go home and go to bed.
Yeah, starting to feel like that. When I say that, it must be
Brandon's
late.
been yawning. He's wearing
Oh,
out.
dude, I'm wiped.
Yeah.
I am completely wiped.
Yeah, I'm ready. So the corn's growing. Fair races are going on in Underwood. I got to get a race car ready. I got one day.
We got the 47 hot rod out here. We got gears changed, and I hope he was working on it out there, getting it ready, finishing it up. So we'll have him there both nights. No Haskar, no Trevor Haas for
No
you.
Haas car?
Why? He
No
didn't get
Haskar?
permission, or
No, it's not that he didn't. He's got to make up for some work that he missed last week, and he has his daughter
Lydia's
starting.
in town.
Yep, has to get her on Friday, and
Be dad.
yep.
If you know, you know. Haskar.
He's got to do the responsible thing. His engine owner said, "Be a responsible parent. Don't worry about racing."
so that
Actually, he said that on his own. I'm just saying.
the engine survived the tour well.
I wasn't even worried. The engine
No.
will survive. It's a crate motor. When they go, they go. If they don't, they don't. It is what it is. Boy, if
Yeah.
that ain't racing in a nutshell.
How else can you do it? Sucks to say, but it is what it is. So, yeah. Okay. See y'all in Underwood. See y'all at NODAC.
Yeah. For Craig, for Jorn, I'm Brandon. See you guys at the fair. Go to the races. Hang out at the
Have
fair.
a cheeseburger. Yummy. Okay. Good night.
Suppose I could. Is that my cue to do my
Do we have
show?
music?
Oh, you just wait here. Just wait. Which button is it?
Oh, yeah. I'm starting to get used to that.
It's a long way from Conway.
Yeah, it is.
I can't do Conway.
I
People
gotta do
get in trouble
Conway.
on Facebook.
I gotta do Conway some justice here. Let's find some speed. Yeah.
Okay, see you guys.
All right.